Well, hello there, magic people of the internet.
Ugh.
Hello, hello. Yeah, yeah, hello. It's like remember that Seinfeld episode where they're talking about the girl's stomach who sounded like it was saying hello, hello, hello. Anyway,
I if I've watched 10 seconds of Seinfeld, that's about it.
fuck you.
Honestly, I know.
Anyway, for all the normal people out there who like Seinfeld, yeah, welcome to Love Beer Radio with myself, Matt. I do the whole master beer review thing, and Joe from NEP Beer Reviews. What's going on, brother?
Not too much. Back up at school now. Was just in the brewery today, which was
What'd
a
you do?
lot of fun. We did a sort of KBS clone for our Project Brew, which is a festival that is coming up for us in December. Perfect beer festival.
Nice.
Beer festival time.
Now you got to do like the barrel age at the whole nine.
Honestly, I'm not sure. One guy in our class just kind of got this whole thing together because today was nothing was really scheduled. Our project, like actual semester brews that we're designing, start up next week. So today was just kind of like basically a free day. We could have either came in, signed up for our time slot, and then fucked off, or like stayed around and did stuff. So we did the KBS clone.
Nice.
Yeah.
What else is going on? What else is shaking?
I'm drinking right now. Pompous Ass by Great Lakes Brewing.
Canadian Great Lakes.
Yes, Canadian Great Lakes. Great, awesome name. I love
awesome name.
beer names in Canada, and this is probably one of the few times. No, because our bigger beers are fairly accurate with the temperature suggestions. The serving temp that they suggest on here is 3 to 5 degrees Celsius. For people like myself who don't know what the fuck that is, that's like 37 degrees to like 40 and change degrees in regular people temperature. So, and that's probably one of the first times that I have disagreed with serving temperature. Because like I said, a lot of the bigger beers that we will drink, they'll say 45 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and you're like, all right, yeah, that's fine. That's a good temperature for these. I would put that in that category as well and drink it probably around 45. I let it warm up because I just reviewed it as well, and I noted like there wasn't a whole hell of a lot of flavor coming right out of the fridge.
Yeah.
But as it warmed up, I'm getting a lot more flavor now. It's an English style pale ale.
Okay.
So I think just the fact that it's more malt forward, not really very hop forward. I think that's the kind of difference here and why it's actually better, slightly warm. You got to get your overlay going.
Shut your mouth. Just because you don't know one thing easy, you have to act jealous.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting. Like you could drink a ton of these. I had 2 of them, and I've gone through both of these pounder cans so far.
Nice. Yeah, I just reeled off a bunch of reviews. I got actually I have to it's uploaded, but I didn't post it yet. I got a beer mail from Joe, who's been on the show before. I did some logo work for him. He sent me off. I want to say I got about 10 beers from him, maybe give or take. A bunch of cool beers. Like he was like, he's like, what do you want? I was like, stuff I've never heard of. You know what I mean? He's like, tell me what you want. I was like, I don't want to tell you what I want. I'm like, you just send me shit I've never heard of. So he sent me a bunch of like unique beers or a bunch of small beers. He just went on a beer trip to Ohio to visit another a beer review guy. Johnny's his name, does crafty beer reviews, and
Okay.
he went. Go ahead.
No, I know like of the reviewer. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that the guy's name was Johnny.
Yeah, and he kind of just went around. So I got a bunch of Ohio-based review beers, basically. Some local stuff from upstate New York too, which is what am I drinking now? Oh no, this is actually a Shawnee beer I picked up the other day, but I did a couple of them, but I did this. It's called. Let me go grab the can because I want to show it because it's a cool fucking can too. Give me a sec.
All right, take your time. So when Matt gets back here and shows this whole can, we're gonna I think kind of reopen some beer pricing news from our previous episode, just based on some news coming out of our favorite brewery to talk about, Pizza Boy. Whenever we're lax for topics, for news, we can always count on them to give us something.
What are you making fun of me?
No, I'm not making fun of you. I'm making fun of Pizza Boy.
Oh, Pizza Boy. What were you saying?
I said they never fail to give us talking points.
Oh man!
Whenever we think it's going to be a little slow, they always come through in the clutch.
Oh, we didn't talk about Pizza Boy yet.
No, not yet. That's what I said.
Oh my god, I totally forgot. Oh, this is gonna be great. Oh yes, because I did a podcast midweek with somebody, and then I kind of like assumed we talked about it. Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. Anyway, this is Willoughby Brewing.
Where's that from?
Hazy Days. It's cool. It's got like this weird. You can't see it because of the light. It's too bright. It's like a cool honeycomb pattern and all that stuff. It's from where in Ohio? Willoughby, Ohio. So it's a hoppy wheat ale, and it's at a hoppy wheat ale. And they said they just on the back it goes through how they make it, but they said they liberally dry hop at the end with Pacific Northwest aroma hops. But here's the thing: it's only 17 IBUs, and I was like, okay, let's see what we got going on, dude. This beer is delicious. It is like it's got that kind of New England haze kind of thing going on it. But it's like that nice fleshy juiciness that is hard to kind of get. It was only 5.6% alcohol. It's a really, really good beer. So yeah, just rip through a couple things.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't too shabby. So yeah.
Oh, and I bottled for the people that have been watching and skipping around through our marathon podcast from last weekend. I just bottled that beer yesterday before I came back up.
How's it looking?
Pretty good. I got a decent amount of bottles out of it. One, I had 24, but I noticed one had some like weird shit floating in it. I don't know if it was like left over in the bottle and like I just didn't notice before I bottled the beer or what was going on. So I put that one off to the side, and it's actually going to be dumped at some point because I don't trust what was floating around in it. So I got 23 total, and I have a 6-pack here that I'm going to carbonate. I'll let sit and carbonate and just see how it turns out. And hopefully in a couple weeks we'll have that for the review.
Yeah, the it was interesting because what hops were they? We used what was
Mosaic
the one?
Mosaic and Motica.
Motica, which I've never even experienced before, and it came out a little bit funky out of the first bag, and then you finished the brew, and then you waited a week, and you added another batch of hops, right? Was it 1 week?
Not less than a week, so about 5 days.
Okay.
I dry hopped it on Friday with another ounce of Mosaic and an ounce of Motica, and the second ounce of Motica actually smelled way better than the first one.
Not nearly as oniony or.
No, not oniony at all, which was weird considering both bags came from the same company. So I don't know if like it's just different crops that went into each bag.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. It smells amazing. And it has a pretty decent taste as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Not bitter, which I was not expecting it to be, because the hops were in there hardly enough time to really give it any bitterness. So it's like it's nowhere near bitter enough for an IPA, and barely bitter enough for a pale ale.
Nice. So yeah, I'm super interested to see how that comes out. It'll be a fun one.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to try it as well. I just have the 6-pack sitting on my counter over there and just.
Oh, you brought a 6er back, yeah?
I did, yeah. Because I want to be able to test it and like see when it's ready. So I'll probably open a bottle on Sunday.
Nice.
This coming Sunday to see if it's ready to go.
Yeah, I'll have to contact your mom or Amanda or something and get in your basement and grab a couple.
Amanda is actually dog sitting and house sitting right now.
Oh, really?
So just shoot her a text, and just pop over at some point.
How long is she gonna be there?
Till Friday or Saturday.
Okay. I have off tomorrow. Maybe I'll just shoot her a text and shoot over or some shit.
So,
good.
Should we talk about?
Hold on, pump your brakes. We're getting there, brother. Yeah. Let's talk about a couple other things. I'm trying to think.
All right.
There was something else I wanted to bring up. I forget what the fuck it was. Wow, this is interesting fucking internet. I went to a horrible, the worst brew pub I've ever gone to in my life.
Go on.
Yeah, that bad, dude. It was fucking dumpster fire bad. It was a place called Red Castle Brewing. It's in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. It's like a brew pub, and I went down to. What happened was I took Saturday off, so I was on Saturday. Went down to. I had to go to that blog thing. That blog conference thing. Went there.
NEPA blog con for people who don't
know
what he's talking about.
Yeah. And I won all kinds of stuff. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah. Food blog of the year.
Ooh. And I think there's like 3 entries.
Or if you're Brad, NEPA booty of the. There were actually a couple of them. When I was up for it, there were like 3 of us. It was me, I think Whiskey Bacon, and fucking NEPA Pizza Review who ended up winning.
Yeah, it was all right. But anyway, we went down there and then we left. Me and Mandy, we left and we went to. We met up with my sister and brother-in-law who had a fucking beautiful man purse, so it made the trip all worthwhile. And yeah, it was glorious. And we met up. We decided to meet up in Jim Thorpe because it was kind of like we wanted to go. Mandy wanted to go to Jim Thorpe because they have jerky there, beef jerky, and like they have the jerky world. It's like jerky from everywhere. We still haven't gone because they were closed for some bizarre reason. Because it rained. They closed because it rained. And anyway,
really?
Yeah. It was raining a lot. It rained a lot, so they closed. Anyway, we decided to go there, and I was like, looked it up, and I was like, okay, there's this like brew pub there, and I was like, fuck it, you know what I mean? Brew pub, here we go, let's do it. And first thing we get in there, and I'm like, the place is kind of just laid out like weird, and then like all the waitresses are kind of like they're not hot enough to like be like prostitutes, but they like to dabble in meth, so they can't be prostitutes, I guess. I don't know. It was very kind of just, I don't know, sleazy.
Just odd.
And I was like, okay, I'm like, well, let me get. They had 10 beers on tap, and 10 beers on tap. 7 of them they make, and the other 3, these kids. I don't want to say kids because I actually don't know how old they are. these other people make them on their system. So they basically like contract their system out when they're not using it to a local people that use it because it's I forget the size of the system, but anyway, so they put their beers on too. But their beers are all like hot. I'll get to that in a second. Anyway, all their stuff is like lagers and shit like that. And it was bad. Like it was hard to get through. Like let's put it this way. I totally, when I was done with their beers, I was like, just give me a 3 Guys and a beard because I want something to drink that is gonna make this not be as bad for me. It was that bad. It was like bad.
And you're not a fan of those guys.
Yeah, it was to the point where it was like they had a couple ales that they're like classified as like tart lagers that they just fucked up. You know what I mean? Like it just wasn't good. But then
tart lager.
Yeah, they had like a lager and they're like brewed with like fucking strawberries, and so it's got a nice tartness to it. And you're like, no, it's just tart. So you're making shit up now. And it was just made bad. It was like literally I was sitting at the bar, Mandy was sitting next to me, like Timmy DMS is on my left, and you know what I mean, Joey fucking whatever fucking flavors on my right, and it was just like the worst. And the food was horrible and everything else. Anyway, then I went on to the other people's beers. That was they called Red Castle. That was the name of the place that we went to. And there's this Insurrection, I think it was called, brewery, and that's the other people. And it was like it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like I drank it all. Let's put it that way. But their whole shtick was they make beer, but they also make liquor, and then they infuse all their beers with liquor. So it's like to have a barrel aged porter infuse it rum, a porter infuse it rum, not like a barrel aged porter, and to me that's kind of like it doesn't taste bad, but it seems like they're trying to hide shit, you know what I mean, by infusing it with a little bit of booze. So it wasn't too bad, but it wasn't, I mean, it's kind of like that. The other beer was so bad, I think that's why this other beer wasn't nearly as bad, because the other stuff was that bad. But yeah, we gotta go once just to go and just laugh, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I'm up for maybe they'll make North Slope better.
Yeah, I might go to North Slope next weekend, actually. I had a good newsflash. I had my first North Slope beer on I want to say Friday, maybe. And I liked it.
I don't believe you.
I'm not lying. I'm not. Why would I don't lie.
I know you don't.
It was some kind of double IPA, something or another, and it was like 11%. But it was. Here's the thing. It was super, 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 super sweet. So I don't know if
fermented out properly.
Yeah. So, but it didn't taste bad. Like it tasted like. I don't know. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. And I was going into it and being like, okay, I got a glass of it, just being like, yes, I can taste how horrible this is. That's how it was when I got it. I was like, yeah. Because
where'd you have it?
I had it at Backyard Ale House, because what happened was, so I had it on Tuesday night is when I had it. And Tuesday night is when I had it. And the reason why I knew it was there when I walked in, because Sunday at the show, on the radio show, one of the owners' backyard, Billy, he does a radio show, and he's like, we got some North Slope, and I was like, oh my god, and I was like, how bad is it? He's like, actually, we just tapped it, I haven't even had it. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to try how bad it is. You know what I mean? And and he but he's like, yeah, man, it's like crazy. It was like, he's like, it was like $100. He's like, it was $150 for it or something. I'm like, wow. I'm like, that's a little pricey for 6 ladies. He's like, no, $150 for a half keg. And I was like, wow, man, it's got to be that bad that I just want to get rid of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it wasn't, and like that's the thing. Like it was an 11% double IPA that they were charging $3 a fucking pint for. Do you know what I mean? Like it was just like. Yeah, it was just it wasn't bad, man. Like I drank it all.
Sweet.
I drank it all. I'd rate it.
Sweet. It wasn't fermented out. It wasn't done.
I don't think I rated it on Untapped, but if I did, I would rate it higher than a 3.
Huh.
Let's put it that way. So I was pretty surprised about that. I bet your Kimbro buddy at the fucking convention.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He came over. He's like, "Hey, I recognize the beard or something," and I was like, "Yeah." We rapped for a bit and exchanged phone numbers and shit because he was asking me about whether I wanted to still do the shit that you were talking to me about. And another thing, when I went to Jim Thorpe, I went to a bar called I forget what it was called. Anyway, I had my first third rail beer, Rusty Rail beer. Sorry,
Rusty Rail.
I had my. It was all right. I liked it. It was their I want to say it was their blonde ale.
Yeah, that one
it was a little fruity.
Okay.
It was a little fruity in a weird way. It wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. I drank the whole thing. You know what I mean? But I was like, okay, cool. So I was like, hey, I saw it immediately. I was like, give me one of those. You know what I mean? Because I was super excited because I actually saw it. That's pretty much it. So
nice.
let's talk about Pizza Boy. Yay!
Pizza Boy. All right. So I actually saw it this was what, on like Tuesday?
Yeah.
I think. Or Tuesday or
I forget what day. I just texted you. I was like, dude.
No, it was Wednesday.
Yeah.
It was Wednesday because I was here. Tuesday I would have been traveling. They got a half-assed email thing from Dogfish Head over their Pizza Boy's Pumpkin Disorderly. And the email was kind of a very, very cut and pasty, nice way of saying, hey, this is kind of similar to Pumpkin that we've been putting out for quite some time now. It didn't exactly say you can't call it this anymore, but it was sort of hinting at it. And in the typical Pizza Boy fashion, they basically said, fuck yourselves on Instagram and then on Facebook as well. My view of this entire thing.
Well, let me break it down for a little bit more precise, just so people know.
Yeah, let's go a little bit more.
Dogfish had sent a person to person, Sam Calgione, to Owls of Adam, personal non-lawyer based cease and desist letter, but that was the nicest cease and desist letter in the history of mankind. I was basically like, "Hi, man.
No, absolutely.
I hear this is you have pumpkin, and we do not pumpkin. Pumpkin.
No, it was. They had Pizza Boy has Pumpkin Disorderly, and Dogfish Head just has Pumpkin.
Yeah, so it's like similar. So they sent thing like, man, please don't do that because it's our thing, and we don't want to do lawyers, and you can understand why they're doing it because, I mean. The whole C&D thing is funny, but at the same time, if you don't cut people off then, and then you let somebody get away with it, and then somebody else does it, then you set precedents. So
that's how you lose your trademarks and your copyrights.
So
if you don't do that once, you may as well just throw it away.
It was a very nice letter, and then I'm going to read verbatim what Al Kaminsky from Pizza Boy wrote. It goes, "Here's the bullshit template letter you get when a business owner doesn't have enough balls to call you up and has someone send you a letter instead, but they signed it from quote unquote Sam, and he wrote in parentheses, I make a hand job motion repeatedly that you can't see right now, basically being like, fuck this guy, fuck this letter, you know what I mean, fuck these people.
Yeah.
So, okay, there you go. Now go.
Reading the letter, I could see how he thought it was like kind of like a cut and pasty kind of a thing. Is it at the end of the day better than a lawsuit? Yes. Yeah. And now if I saw that, if I was from Dogfish Head, I would go, okay, dicks, fuck yourselves. Lawsuit.
Hammers down, man. Just fucking
Hammer
hammer
down.
down.
You want to be a dick? All right, I'll play that game. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
You know, I have infinitely more money than you. let's fucking do it.
It's so retarded,
But
man.
it is, and I kind of while we're on the subject of Pizza Boy, I kind of want to very briefly reopen.
Yeah, well, we had to talk about
topic from earlier of
our
talking
first
about beer
show. First show
pricing.
ever.
Yes.
No.
No,
Yeah, the
second show.
first show, right? Because I think it was like we laughed because it was like perfect timing or something. Anyway, regardless,
Yeah, it was
right around when we
second
started.
show. Right around when we started. The other day, I see AleSmith. Let me start this off. AleSmith very recently did a release of either just barrel aged Speedway or like a bunch of barrel aged beers. So like barrel aged Wee Heavy, Old Numbskull, and Speedway.
Okay.
Priced out of the brewery at $30. If you take out the Pizza Boy situation of being able to go to Wegmans, wherever it is in location to them, and being able to buy it cheaper, what's the difference there between them selling a sour for $30 out of the brewery versus AleSmith selling their beers?
Actually, there is a difference, and the difference is buying power, because AleSmith is an infinitely bigger brewery, so they probably get shit cheaper because they have such bigger buying power. But that being said, in no shape or form is any of Pizza Boy's beers as covered as barrel aged Speedway. You know what I mean? Like barrel aged Speedway is like, it's not you go to the brewery and you get it. You get a ticket and there's like a lottery system. You know what I mean? Like it's not, and there's it's not like people fly to AleSmith to get barrel aged Speedway. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying
really
someone
any
has
of their any of their barrel aged beers.
Yeah, so I mean,
Old Numbskull
there is a
Heavy as
difference, but I mean, $30 is a big difference between $35 to $45. That's a huge fucking difference. Like I still think barrel aged Speedway should be $25 to $30. $30, I'm like, okay, I'd rather it be 25. But something's, it is what it is. But the thing you're basically trying to bring up, I think, was just fucking like, and this is the thing, we should preface it with that. We talked about them in our first show. We talked about basically the same guy, Al Kaminsky, went ape shit and flipped out because he was trying to defend
we talked about more of the hissy fit than we touched on the beer pricing for them specifically.
Yeah,
we did talk more about the hissy fit that he fucking threw.
But the whole hissy fit was him defending his price points and talking about his beers. You know, some people like Ferraris and some people like Ford Escorts, and his beers are Ferraris, and like a bunch of like self-serving, myopic, fucking douchebaggery,
basically nonsensical thing.
Yeah, and that's why this thing he did right now is that much more like shit-tastic. Because it's the fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. It's a start of a pattern now, and this is not the first time, nor will be the last. So it's like,
no,
it's more. I
think what he's
his
trying
attitude
to do is like he's trying to use the power of social media to his favor. He's gonna post this thing from Dogfish Head about how we have this beer and whatever, and then people are gonna flock to his defense. People that are, fans of Pizza Boy, they're gonna come to his side. And I think in that particular situation, if they'd have a stronger defense, if they were only a tap room for themselves, for their own things, and the retail part of it only served their products, they would have a stronger defense and say, well, you really can't get this beer in bottles, it's really only on tap at the brewery, blah blah blah, as opposed to, yeah, you can buy Pumpkin and Pumpkin Disorderly in the same store probably.
Yeah.
Like that, I think, is the difference there, and I think even adds to how much bullshit that is. That he has the fucking balls to come at them for that.
Well, I'm going to tell you something right now, man. I'm pretty sure this is the deal with that and this is the whole thing. The guy we're talking about is not the head brewer there. He's the owner of the pizza company.
He's the owner, yeah.
Who fronts money for the brewery projects. And I would bet my left testicle that fucking he sits in his office and he does a big line of coke, and then what he does is he sits there and complains and flips the fuck out, and he doesn't understand why he's not Hill Farmstead. Like he's like, oh, fuck. He's like, what the fuck do they have that we don't fucking have? You know what I mean? I can definitely, I can hear it from here, 2 hours away. I can hear it and be like, what the fuck, man? Fucking Hill Farmstead, fucking Treehouse, fuck those people. We're just as good as them. Why the fuck aren't people fucking flocking to our shit? That, you want to know why? Because they're the shit you're saying. You know what I mean? Who the fuck wants to deal with?
I did some review. I did some like on-site reviews, just like written reviews. Maybe I want to say 2 years ago, and like I tweeted out like, "Oh, writing some reviews at Pizza Boy or whatever." And he's like, yeah, it was like kind of a joking. He like tweeted back at me. He's like, yeah, we suck, we know. But that was like kind of like, oh, I would do that same thing if I saw someone. But then it's like it just kind of escalated from there to where he's like fucking complaining about shit and blocked the don't drink beer guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I will be right back. I'm gonna grab a beer and go to the bathroom. I'm like 20 minutes in and I already have to piss. So.
It's just one of those things where you have like this fucking owner. Oh my god! I'm a fucking asshole. Like I overreact to shit all day. I mean, I'm usually cool as a cucumber 24/7. You know what I mean? And never ever, you know what I mean, break a sweat with stuff. But and I'm saying that while looking off camera at my lovely girlfriend who loves every moment of my neurotic craziness and. And you know, we all have our horrible times, and we all have our like breakdowns. But I don't post it on the fucking internet. You know what I mean? Like, I try to hide it as much as possible. I'm like, some people are a fucking closet fucking heroin addicts. I'm a closet rageaholic, I guess you'd say. But sometimes it spills out into the general public. I mean, it's not like I leave Sam's Club and argue with a random guy who tried to cut in line. That would never happen, but. You know, it is what it is. You missed it. I was doing confessional while you were gone, by the way.
Were you?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
I will have to listen to it on a ride when you finally update the.
Shut your mouth. I'll give you all the information. You can update it too if you want, buddy. It takes effort, and I'm moving. I am moving. It takes time. Yeah, what? That's a perfect excuse.
Yeah, it is actually a really good excuse. So I'm just being that.
Because I'm like literally, I'm still have stuff set up weird, and I'm trying to like it takes me time to actually set up the actual like record like this show like before I just sit down and hit record. You know,
be all good to go. Now it's moving shit around and finding places for the dogs.
Hold on 1 second.
Ugh. Okay. I don't know what's going on right now. It just kind of looked off. For people that are listening post this or don't pay attention to the videos at all, you won't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But Matt just kind of looked off to the camera and just fucked off for a minute. And I don't know. Well, let's lay out the show, shall we? Now that we've done our like newsy bullshit. Today we're going to be talking about traveling for beer. So we're going to talk about areas that we've traveled to for the sole purpose of trying beers there, buying beer halls, and all that kind of thing. Then we're going to be reviewing Bells Neptune, and then wrapping it up with places that we want to travel to for beer.
Yeah, so let's get into that now.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, Pizza Boy sucks. And
Pizza Boy sucks. Their
They
food is
don't
actually
suck. They
not that
actually
bad.
make good beer and they make good food.
Terry makes good beer. Al sucks. Their food's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So let's dive into the
There we go.
subjects at hand. Let's do that.
Okay. So since you just went out to Shawnee, talk about that for a minute. Talk about how you like.
Well, I mean, it's kind of.
Oh wait, that wasn't.
Go ahead.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just making fun of you now.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that was
I
even
mean,
though
it wasn't sole purpose for.
exactly, and that was my point. Is that even though that I traveled there just for that, it's if I wasn't there for the other part of that
For the
trip,
other
I would have
part.
never went. You know what I mean? So, I
So
mean,
on that.
I'm trying to think of the last time I traveled anywhere specifically for beer, besides like local bottle shops and shit like that. Obviously, might have been Canada.
Yeah.
When I went up to Albino Rhino, maybe I'm trying to think. Did they go on any brewery tours or anything like that lately? Look at that, Mandy. No, I mean, oh no, yeah, actually, I did. When I went to last time I went and did, and you can watch it all online. When I went to
Yes.
Saucony Creek. I went to Avalanche Brewing, and I went to Stouts. Oh, my brother-in-law Scott, and we kind of hit that off, and that was a really good day. I travel. I mean, I travel. You know what I mean? Like for beer like that every so often. Like a lot. I'd probably travel more bottle shop wise than I do to actually brewery.
Yeah.
Like I'll get in a car and I'll drive to Bethlehem, or I'll drive to New Jersey, or I'll drive to New York, specifically just to get beer. But I do breweries every now and then too, and it's not because I covet bottle shops over breweries. It's just that the breweries close, they're not as close as the bottle shops. You know what I mean? Like those bottle shops I'm talking about are like an hour and a half. The breweries I want to go to are 3-4 hours away, except for the 3 that I just hit.
Yeah. I would actually agree with that. I would probably be the same way. The last time that I went somewhere for beer, it was probably a run over to Premier Gourmet, just to hit that bottle shop. But apart from that, just going down to Reading and hitting that Mari's 6-pack.
Yeah.
And just buying way too much beer when I had the money to do such things.
Such frivolous activities.
Such frivolity. Yeah, no, like that was probably one of my. I don't know if I've had like a beer haul like one of those where I'm dropping like over $100 since. Yeah, like I've gone. There's anytime this isn't specifically going there, I like to, whenever I'm in Philly, at least pop into local 44, which is my favorite spot for beer in the city there. But that's like I said, that's not necessarily the sole purpose of going there. I went actually when I was dropping my sister off, it was either picking her up or dropping her off the one day for Christmas. I specifically went to Tired Hands and actually got to like try a bunch of their beers. No, it was in May. I was picking my sister up because Taco Hands had come out.
Oh, okay.
Like the Cinco de Mayo beer. Not this May that just passed, the previous May. And I got like a bunch of stuff at Local 44 and a couple growlers from Tired Hands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, apart from that, it's mostly I haven't gone like too far out. I've done like Weyerbacher trips, and that's just for getting shit from them. Every now and again, I've done the the Pizza Boy, Trogs. Actually, this past March, I did Trogs and Pizza Boy all on the same day, which was a lot of fun. Other than that, though, it's just hitting like Premier Gourmet every so often, not all the time, because that's a place you could just lose all of your money in.
It's one of those things, though. It's like a weird thing because the way Joe typically writes the kind of intros and topics and stuff like that, and the way he wrote it is like places we solely go to.
So I think I could have reworded this a little bit better.
Yes.
And like places that we've gone to.
Yeah, because a lot of
like beer adventures, if you will.
Yeah, but a lot
like places that we've looked up. We've traveled to an area and we've looked up various like bottle shops and stuff.
But what I was going to say was a lot of the places that I do go to I didn't go there just for that, but also I went there. I wouldn't have went there without. How do I put it? There's a lot of places
without
I've gone.
In mind.
No. Well, that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of breweries I've gone to that if it was just a brewery, I wouldn't have gone. But if it was just going to the place that without a brewery, I wouldn't have gone. Like, it's equal parts, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go here and then do both. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like I go to Sam the Beer Man, which is in Binghamton, New York. It's about an hour and 20 minutes away from me. When I go there, I usually hit off a bottle or not a bottle shop, a brewery in Sam the Beer Man. I have gone to Galaxy. I've gone to Water Street. I'm not going to go up there just to go to Water Street. But I'm also not going to go up there and just go sit to Sam the Beer Man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to do both at the same time. So it's like one of those things. Or like, for example, like if I go on a vacation or something, like for example, like this weekend when I went to that Red Castle that sucked, I would have never gone there just to go to that brewery. But I also wanted to go to Jim Thorpe, but I wanted to go to a brewery if one was close, if that makes any sense. So there's like almost like a combination of the two.
It's what kind of beer related things can we do in this area? And that's actually like whenever I've gone on vacation with Amanda, where it's just the two of us, I'm like, what do you want to do? Tell me what you want to do, because it will end up entirely beer related and you've no one but yourself to blame because you haven't given me any suggestions.
Actually, you know what the funniest part is? I totally spaced on it. You know, the last time I actually went to a place just for beer was Thursday. I went to Endless Brewing. I went to Endless.
I saw.
I totally spaced on that. Yeah, because like I did another podcast with the guy I do the radio show with. He's like, "Yeah, you just like want to come up?" I was like, "Okay." I just randomly had that Thursday off, and I was like, "What time do you get out of work?" And he's like 4, and then we had there's a third guy who does the podcast that records it or something like that, and he doesn't get there till 7. And I was like, let's just fucking go to Endless. You know what I mean? It's not far away because he lives in Clark Summit and it's in Montrose, so it's not far. So I went up there. So that was actually the last place I went to. So a couple days ago, less than a week ago, I went someplace. It was okay. The beers are actually pretty subpar based off of what I've had already.
Grasshopper and that barley wine. The rest of it was just kind of
Grasshopper was even no good up there.
Really?
And I
think Grasshopper might be way better out of a can than tap.
Well, let me preface this, and I'm not trying to poop on them, but I'm looking it up while we're sitting here.
Okay.
August 27th, they got a 10-time capacity mash tun. So I think they're just working out some kinks. You know what I mean? Like they're just scaling, and they're trying to dial it back in. So like a month ago, they're because like even like they had like we went up there. They had 5 beers on draft. They're okay, but even Grasshopper, like I've had Grasshopper on draft. You have it on draft, and both we had in cans. I like it more in cans as a few, but they weren't. I mean, they were different, but not far off. This is like pretty far off, and I was like, but then I remember, okay, I know they got like literally in. I actually, it's funny because I thought that in my brain. I'm like, wait a minute, I know they just got a new mash tun. And I know it's like way bigger than what they.
Well, did they get then just a new? Did they get a fully like upgraded brew house like too? So like
they did
compensate for that. Their kettle.
I don't. I just
10 times bigger than their other one as well.
I assume so. I just like
because
I know
like finished beer. If just the mash tun was bigger, would not make too much sense as to why it wouldn't be.
You wouldn't just upgrade your mash tun. You'd upgrade.
No, you wouldn't just. You would upgrade everything all at one time.
So I assume so. The only reason I'm saying mash tun is because I'm like, let's put it this way. I remember going, okay, I know they just upgraded their system not too long ago, and then we were sitting there. They had 5 beers on draft, and they have like a Belgian pale called Bombshell, and they have their double Bombshell, which is like it's like a double up version, a little bit higher ABV. It's their Bombshell is a 6.6, and they have their triple Bombshell was 8.8. And I was like, and I brought a growler because I just wanted a growler. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I was like, let me get that. But right before I said that, the guy I was with also went up there to be like, hey, do you want to be on the radio show thing? And then I was like, yeah, let me get a growler. And then she's like, okay. And she started to set everything up. And then he was talking to her. She's like, oh, you guys are from the radio. She's like, actually, we have we call the nuclear Bombshell. And I was like, okay. And she's like, I guess it was a side draft thing. She's like, you want to growler that? I was like, sure. And she's like, yeah, it's like, it's basically they tried to make their triple Bombshell, but they got so much efficiency out of it that it ended up coming out like way bigger than they possibly imagined. So you know what I mean? It's like a special one to handle. So you can tell they're working on the kit. They're working out the kinks and yeah. So that's like when I went up there and I did that, I was like, okay, I'm like, pass on that. I understand how it can be when you're trying to figure shit out.
No, like bigger system, you gotta figure. If you don't know how to do it, you have to figure it out. You have to really rework everything. You know.
I'm trying to think of anything else. Traveling beer was, I mean, places I've really stuck in my mind. Traveling, that trip I did take to Sockeye Creek, Golden Avalanche and Stouts is awesome because the experience is awesome. Going to Canada was awesome. I mean, that was like definitely something. That was a weird experience because I went there specifically for beer and beer only, and it wasn't just a 2-mile trip. It was a 5-hour trip that was about going to a brewery, going to a festival, and then going to do beer shares and beer reviews. It was like a very unique experience because it wasn't just like, oh, let's go somewhere on vacation and drink some beers. It was,
we're going to Niagara Falls on vacation. Oh, look, there's a beer festival that day.
Yeah. No, it was like I'm going.
That was my Nashville trip when we went down there. It's like, oh, there's a beer festival the week that we're down there. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. You know.
Yeah.
But I didn't go specifically to Nashville to go to the Music City Brewery Fest or whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah, so it was like it was all beer. It was just that's all it was about, which was really cool. I never immersed myself that much in it like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just like fucking beer. So that was really fucking cool. And I have a couple things set up for beer. I got like I have to go visit my buddy Wade, and when I do go visit Wade, it's gonna be like the Jersey connection. It's gonna be going to Carton, going to Kane, going to like all those things and doing that whole thing. And then it's gonna be a lot of like bottle share shit and stuff like that. But I mean I don't travel far and wide, but I do my fair share of traveling. I think what else? Brewery wise,
I think when I'm home in October, I might do the might take a ride down to Saucony Creek. I've really wanted to go down there since they've opened up.
It was a great experience, man. Yeah, it was a great experience. Anytime you get to actually drink straight from the source, man. Not just in cans, but they took me back in a brewery and they're just opening valves, like try this, try that. You know what I mean? It's like fucking yeah, baby.
Straight from the tank. I mean, that's awesome. I went over to the one day. I went to pick some stuff up at SBC, and they just like took me over to the one tank because like I did a review for their one beer, and they actually contacted me about it and was like, oh, come on over to the brewery and like we'll show you around, we'll do all this stuff, you know, if you ever want any beer, just let us know. So I went over and I got some beer, and they just took me over to a tank and just like fucking open it up, like, here you go, it's not really done yet, but here, try this. I'm like, all right, cool, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah. That's the best. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you can get it like that. But yeah, I mean the whole traveling thing, it's awesome. Like, independently wealthy, I'd be, well, and that's our second
doing
segment. Talking about where we want to go and what we want to do. That's the big topic. You know what I mean? Because I can speak about for 19 hours.
Yeah, but do that for the rest of the night.
So let's do that. Let's dive into a review, and then we'll get into where we want to go.
And beer and another glass. Yeah. We'll be right back.
So while Joe's doing that, I will say nothing, and I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to hold up the Eagles game so everybody can watch what's going on, because that's way more interesting than what we're talking about. No, anyway, I'm sure that'll be some kind of NFL SEC regulation. So our show is going to be shut down any second. So it was nice knowing you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the show, and hopefully you enjoyed me breaking the law. So there you go. You didn't even see what I did you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, well, like on the side, I had my iPad. I have the NFL going, and I was like, so instead of talking, I'm just going to let you guys watch the Eagles game. And I held the thing up, and I was like, yeah, that's probably breaks some kind of FCC rule. So our show's going to be shut down, and we're going to be thrown in jail. So.
So anyway, we're doing Bells Mercury, another throwback from our trying to line up beers to do that we haven't gotten around to for a long time.
Yep. There you go, Bells Mercury. This is I've had a couple of their Planet series so far. I've had their.
This will be the first for me.
Okay, nice. I had their. I want to say I had their Neptune just recently. And it was the definition of multiple personalities, because it didn't know what it wanted to be. And then before that, I had, I want to say, what was the other one I had? It was their old ale in that series, and it was just
Is that the Saturn or whatever?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. So I mean, Bells in general, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't like Bells, because they're
This is also not the first time that we've reviewed a Bells beer. This is the third time. I forgot about Oberon for a second.
Oh yeah, and like
Oberon, they're Two Hearted, and this guy now.
Yeah, that's weird that we've done so many Bells beers. It's not on purpose.
Yeah.
It's totally not on purpose. Bells, you can send the check to 15 Mary Street. No, but. Yeah, it's just kind of happened. Well, I don't want to give them my actual address here. You know what I mean? It's the internet. They can go there and be like, oh, there's bad beer reviews. How you doing, YouTube? And then they'll go there, and then nobody will be there except for Peanut Butter. Anyway.
Peanut Butter owns that house now.
She's still there, actually, believe it or not. So it's not hazy. You probably can't pick it up on camera because of the focus. It's not hazy, but it's particulate heaven. Like, there's so many bits and pieces floating around mine, it's not even funny. How about you?
Mine just honestly just looks hazy. It doesn't really. There's not a. Actually, no, never mind. I got a lot of bits and stuff now that I.
Yeah, like if I could see, there you go. You can get a better. You can actually see now, like the bits and pieces floating around in that fucker. You know what I mean? Like, look at that. There's just chunks and chunks just kind of dancing around in
So
there.
from the label alone, I'm guessing Belgian style wheat.
Actually, no.
4.8% ABV.
I'm gonna go triple on
Golden ale?
this.
Triple, really? At 4.8% triple?
Oh,
That's a little.
4.8% golden ale. Then I didn't. I went through view, not actual like. Oh, 4.8. Why are you even reviewing this? This is water. No.
What are we doing?
So yeah, let's get a nose on it. Let's see
Yeah.
what you got.
Sorry.
I'm gonna tell you right now, dude. I'm getting a whole lot of nothing. Like you're getting the ever so slight bit of spiciness, and I can't even pick out whatever. Maybe just a little bit
I'm
of
getting
sweetness,
a little orangey kind of spiciness, but other than that, not much of anything either.
Yeah, it smells
this
like
bottle is 12 4 of. Is that fucking 14?
yeah, that would be 6 months ago, 8 months ago.
Yeah. We just picked this up like.
No, dude, we picked this up like 3 months ago.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think we did.
Yeah.
Like what did you say? 3 months ago we picked this.
Yeah.
Up?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, no, we picked this up a while ago. I didn't realize like beyond that it was already like when we got it 3 months old.
Yeah, but still, it's a Belgian ale. Even if it's 4%, it could last 8 months. So I'm gonna dive in because honestly, color-wise, it looks kind of cool with the haze, like that particulate haze. Nose-wise, I'm not getting much. I just want to see what it tastes like. So cheers.
Cheers.
It doesn't suck. You know what I mean?
Ah.
It's got a nice spiciness to it.
Nice kind of spiciness. Yeah, I was just gonna say spiciness.
Yeah, nice spiciness. A little white pepper, maybe a little coriander. Like it's a nice sweetness, like
kind of like an apple tone.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, like a non-tart apple sweetness.
Mm-hmm. Like not off flavor apple. You know, if that makes any sense, because typically you would associate apple with an off flavor.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm gonna throw those dregs in there, baby. See what we got going on. Oh yeah, it's a cloudy mess. Awesome. Yeah, it's not a bad beer. Am I gonna buy more of it? No.
Yeah, would I go out of my way to get this beer? Probably not. Honestly, if I saw this and if I saw this in Oberon, I'd probably go Oberon over this, to be honest.
Yeah, probably.
But that's more preference than anything.
I don't know, man. Actually, I'm gonna tell you right now, it might be a close call for me, based off the taste, because I like Oberon, but Oberon is very what's the word I'm looking for? Very situationally specific. Like I want Oberon on a sunny day. I want Oberon on a sunny day. I could drink this in different environments and be down with it. You know.
I think this definitely falls into more of the Belgian category than anything else, and I think excuse me, like the 6 months that's on the bottle is actually not that bad.
No, definitely not. I don't think time is treated as badly.
Especially since mine has pretty much been cold almost the entire time.
Mine too. Mine too. I kept mine in my my temp fridge, like not my regular fridge, like my 50-degree fridge, the whole time. But I mean, not too bad. I mean, definitely Belgian vibes going on. Not much of a nose there, but a decent taste. If I was going to sit here, gun to my head, rate it, I'd give it an 84.
Yeah, I'd probably go like solid B on this. It's pretty good. I like no aroma at all. So that could, I don't know, that might throw some people off that really look for aroma in a lot of their beers. But the taste is pretty good. You know, it's definitely, I would say, more of a Belgian wit. Maybe when it was fresh, it was a little bit different, and we could have really saw what they were going for. But I'd call this a Belgian wit beer over anything else.
To me, if I were to classify it,
But it's not bad.
I would classify it as a Belgian golden ale that had sex with a saison. That's what I would classify it as.
Yeah.
Like somewhere in between those two. I don't get the wit. I don't get that mouthfeel. I don't get any kind of wheat characteristic out of it. But classification aside, it's just it's one of the better planetary series I've had because a bulk of them have sucked ass. So it's not so much that this one's great. It's the other ones were kind of uninspiring.
That's a problem with Bells and like typical like breweries that big. The times that they really want to go out of the box and do something that they're not particularly accustomed to or comfortable with, it kind of becomes a hit and miss.
I haven't had all the planetary series, so I can't comment on whether or not. If I've had them all, I'd be a little bit more confident in the words I'm going to say. But my guess, and again, I could totally be wrong, even though this never happened before, but it totally happened. My guess is they came up with an idea for a series and then created the beer around the series rather than having a bunch of good beers.
If you read the back, it says this is one of a 7-part series inspired by Gustav Holst's musical composition, The Planets.
Yeah.
Strap in and embark on a flavor tour of our solar system in the order of Holst's piece, Mars to Neptune. So you just had Neptune, which would have been the last one in the series.
Yeah, it was the last one. It's just it's nice. It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah, and I think what I was kind of getting at, when, and you could say that Dogfish Head could be a bit of a hit and miss as well with their crazier stuff, but they're more. I feel like we kind of expect it more.
Oh yeah,
Dogfish Head. I don't know how this beer is gonna fucking be, but you know what? Those guys just do whatever the fuck they want anyway, so it can't be totally bad.
Bells has a really nice catalog, but they don't have a catalog like Dogfish has. But if you were to break down, I don't think Dogfish is very consistent, but I think they have way more hits than misses than Bells. Because if I was going to tell you, rattle off the top of my head right now, my favorite Bells beers that I covet, that I would actually sit here and be like, okay, I love these Bells beers. They're batch series, Black Note, I know I'm missing ones, but
Too hard.
I don't covet that. I'm not gonna be like, wow,
okay,
man, you got it. I'm like, man, wow.
I missed the covet. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm like, you gotta try this shit, man. It's fucking fantastic. You know what I mean? Like that kind of beer.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're not batch 9,000. Well, they're batches, but 9,000 just comes to mind. They're Black Note, and I'm trying to think of what else. Right now, Dogfish Head, 120, old school, worldwide. Fucking, I'm already at 3, so obviously that wins. But if I give it a little bit more thought, I'm gonna be able to pick some more stuff out here and there.
No, for me, Noble Rot, probably Midas Touch, but Covet would probably more be Noble Rot.
Yeah,
Midas Touch.
So it's one of those things where it's like similar, but not.
Yeah,
it is what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, there's one beer from Dogfish Head. I don't know if they still make it, or if it's just like a brewery only, like a brew pub only. But it was an IPA called, I think it was like The Sun Never Sets. And what they did was they took ingredients from across what was at one point the British Empire. So they like ingredients from India and like just everywhere that England had a colony.
Oh, okay.
Because the saying was the sun never sets on the British Empire.
Oh, okay.
They had colonies and they controlled places across the world.
Yeah. And that's the one thing, and it's weird because I kind of feel like I have a rep of like shitting on like certain breweries, and I feel like I definitely have a rep for shitting on Dogfish Head. And shit on Dogfish Head. I mean, they're brass ring material. I mean, they fucking, without them, we wouldn't be where we are today. We would be into beer, but we wouldn't be as far as we are. So, you know what I mean?
We would be worse. We would be worse off without Dogfish Head.
Yes.
I think that's what a lot of people forget.
But the one thing you have to give them kudos for, and you cannot fucking deny, is they fucking push the fucking envelope. They try weird shit more often than everybody else does.
I don't know if I've ever said this, let alone told you this. Dogfish Head is one of my inspirations for brewing.
Yeah.
Because they always do crazy stuff. And this was I could look over. I have Extreme Brewing, the book that Sam Calgione wrote. Wrote with, I think, the dude from Voodoo Brewing. But anyway, that was the book that I would always refer to before anything else. Before, the Brewmaster's Bible, How to Brew by John Palmer, or whatever other books that I had, I referred to Extreme Brewing before anything else. I wanted to put fruit in a beer, went to Extreme Brewing. I wanted to do stuff with oak chips, Extreme Brewing. High gravity beers, Extreme Brewing. Everything that like shit that I do now extends from me reading that book.
Yeah. No, man, I get it. You know what I mean? So it's like one of those weird things, because we did an episode of overrated, underrated, and I put Dogfish in overrated, and it's not. And I think like doing an episode like that, and I don't think if people like pick and choose or skim through episodes, I tried to make it readily apparent the whole time. And I was like, listen, I'm fucking respect the fuck out of Dogfish Head, and they're awesome. I'm not saying they suck. But they experiment so much that they're bound to have a lot of fucking misses because they're trying it. They're trying so much crazy shit. You know what I mean? So you can't sit there and say, okay, if somebody tries a bunch of crazy shit and all their beers are awesome, I will fucking sell you some fucking, I'll say it a Golden Gate Bridge. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not possible to do that. You know what I mean?
No, you're gonna have things that don't work out. You're gonna have things that really work out.
Yeah, because you can't experiment like that unless you're actually fucking doing shit like that. So anyway, went on a weird tangent right there.
No, it's that's good. I like just organically coming up with more things to talk about.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, let's dive into the last segment, which would be us talking about places we want to go, because I could talk about this for 19 days.
Well, then proceed.
Okay.
Start out
well, first off, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna talk about where I want to go, places I want to visit for beer. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it by state, not by every single state. I'm gonna do it by my state. Our state. I'm going to do it by continent, and then I'm going to expand worldwide. And then what I'll probably do is loosely, non-ranking wise, break it down. If I had a gun to my head, if I had 5 breweries to go to in my life, that's where I would want to go to. So first off, in my state, who do I want to visit in my state that I haven't been to? Let's see. First, I've never been to Tired Hands. I want to go there. I mean, the whole fucking hipster shit aside, definitely want to go there.
Super fucking hipster.
I know they are, but
it's great though. I like it.
I definitely want to go there. I'd like. Let's see what else. I'd like to go to, Bullfrog, and that's close. And I've never been there. Never been there. I don't know why, but I'll go. One I'm going to in less than a month. I'm going to Dry Lag in Pittsburgh. Nice. Super excited to go there. I know anybody out there who's doesn't know who the fuck I'm talking about, because it's a smaller brewery right outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in Millvale. Dry Lag, DRAAI LAAG.
We started seeing them around around us, maybe I don't know.
Right when
Putting it,
you went to school the first time.
yes,
Because what
yeah,
happened
maybe
was
a little
you
bit before
left.
that. I'd see him in I'd see him in our favorite place in the whole wide world, J&H.
JH, and that's what
Yeah,
happened. That's actually what happened was you immediately left, and then I forget what happened, but Amanda got me a bottle of beer as a thank you gift for something. I forget what it was. I
you
did.
helped her out with the nose ring.
Oh, that's what it was, and that was right when you left, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And she got me that, and it was their Havoc-in. And that was the first beer I ever had from them. And then shit started sprinkling in. Now we're getting more stuff from them, and
But I saw
they're
them. They were in. I saw them in J&H for a while though. Like a couple months before I left, they were there.
but a couple months
If
isn't
you
a
remember, like
while.
the one. That's true. But still, like in my relative terms of how I speak, uh,
Okay.
if you remember just kind of the layout of how he had it, they were always on the shelf, like the end, what would be the end cap shelf that was like right by the register.
I
They
gotcha.
were like bottles were always right there, and it was just like it seemed kind of like almost like what Jack's Abbey did. They were like testing the market, and they just like were there, and it was very sporadic bottles. There was only
Yeah.
like maybe 2 or 3 offerings, and it didn't seem like a whole lot of bottles. Now either John had more in the back, or like what was like he just had a very limited offering from them, and they weren't really moving. I don't know, but it always seemed like there was very few bottles there, which would make me assume that they were just kind of testing the water, so to speak.
Yeah, no, like I'm like their whole vibe, just to give people like a mo of the brewery is they make a lot of Belgian. It's all Belgian influenced beers, but it's all wild.
A lot
They're
of
all
Brett.
wild.
They
They're
use a lot
all
of
wild
Brett.
ales, but they're not like overly sour. They're all about funkiness. You know what I mean? And it's just something about their yeast profile, their Brett. Yeah, they're not going out
Well,
there
it's the other.
crazy lacto or
It's kind
anything
of
like
the other end. It's on
that.
the other end of the spectrum for wild ales. You're going funky instead of full on acidic.
Yeah, and it's just it speaks to me, dude. I don't know what it is. It just fucking works.
Mm.
So I'm super excited to give them a whirl. That's probably my favorite, and I'm going there, and it's the place I do want to go to in Pennsylvania. There's other ones I'm probably missing. You know what I mean? But in Pennsylvania, that's the number one place in PA I want to go to right now. Nationally, where do I want to go to, man? Like Jesus. And I try not to make this list like 19 years long. I'm just kind of cherry pick out some companies. Jackie O's. I want to go to fuck Jackie O's,
Oh
man.
my
In
god! I
fucking
have
Ohio.
the next time that my buddy Luke goes home, I want to see if he can pick up some fucking Jackie O's beer for me. I don't know where they are in relation to Cleveland,
They're in
but
Athens, Ohio. I don't know how far it is, but
yeah, I don't know how far that is from Cleveland either, but like that's where my buddy Luke lives.
yeah, I was lucky enough to have them. They sent me a 3 bottles of some of their bigger offerings, and it fucking, oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
And before
I
that, I've had a bunch of crazy shit. So, yeah.
I've said I sold I said sorry, I can't speak. I said this to you. I think someone at Jackie O's did their homework and sent those beers to you
Could be.
because I that's personally that's what I because don't put it past public relations people to like or
Do their
someone
homework. Yeah.
to do their homework because that's how I formed a pseudo relationship with Capital City Brewing Company in Virginia because their fucking PR guy did his homework, saw Amanda's review. Got to give credit where credit is due. This was a review that Amanda did of their DC location. He emailed me about a media night, and I drove 5 hours to go to this like beer pairing media dinner. I called off of work Like, this was like 11 o'clock on a Monday. I'm like, I gotta fucking do this. What other situation can I get to actually do this whole, to actually do something like this? You know?
Yeah. Let's see what else. United States. There's a bunch of them I'll rattle off. I want to go to Avery for their barrel aging program alone. And same thing with Firestone Walker. I mean, that is just fucking where I would love to go.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else? I'm trying to think of just popping off the top of my head. United States places. I'm probably Old Stock. I have to go to North Coast just for Old Stock. I mean, that would be my, like, I have to visit there. Let's see. Anywhere else? I'm thinking about down south. I'm thinking Midwest. Coonan. I really want to go to Coonan.
Hardywood as well.
Coonan. Dude, we did fucking Hardywood on their fucking. We did Hardywood this weekend on a radio show, and we had a bunch of their really good beers. I haven't had a lot of their smaller stuff. Up here, we typically get their bigger beers, but I had They sent a couple. They sent their Trickery, which is a bourbon apple brandy barrel aged fucking imperial milk stout. One of the best beers I've ever had in my fucking life. It blew my titties, nipples, and wiener off. I was that fucking
just
good.
Gonna say, because you say that all the time. I was gonna say, did it blow your tits off? Because
it was,
I wouldn't think the beer is good unless it did that.
It was so good, I didn't even know what to do with myself. So, like, Hardywood. I'm actually gonna go to Hardywood next year. I already have it planned because me and Mandy are gonna go to fucking Nag's Head, fucking Outer Banks.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of, if you go, there's two different ways to go. If you go to one way, you pass by Hardywood. So I'm definitely, I already earmarked it on the directions. Let's see what else. I'm trying to think, man. There's so many good breweries that I'd love to go to in the United States. La Cumbre. Is that out in
New Mexico?
Yes, I'd love to go there.
I've heard awesome things about them. You actually got to try one of their beers.
Yeah, it was awesome. And there's so many. It's almost like regions I'd want to go to. I'd want to hit off Colorado. You know what I mean? I'd want to hit off San Diego. I'd want to hit off Portland. I'd want to hit off Chicago or Detroit. You know what I mean? It's almost like regions. It just takes
specific areas.
And the same thing with go worldwide. If I was going to go worldwide, the first brewery I would get in like my plane and fly to, oh man, I'm gonna have to fucking sit here and think about this for a half second. I don't even know. There's so many good places overseas that I could go to. I mean, obviously, if some brewery was still making Thomas Hardy, that would be the first place I'd go.
I was gonna say, like, whatever brewery is making Thomas Hardy is the one you are jetting off to and camping out in front of.
Honestly, you know what? If I had a chance, and let's break it down like that, because we're not millionaires, we can't do whatever we want. Let's say if I had about like a decent amount of disposable income to where I was like, okay, I'm just gonna blow some money on a trip to Europe to go get some beers. This is what I would do, and I forget the name of the company, and not that I would plug them because they're not giving me anything for free because you got to pay this motherfucker to talk about it. Let's see. There's this company that I think I told you about this last time we were on doing a brewery thing, or brew day. There's this company that does beer tours, and what they do is
you were saying that.
Yeah, there's I forget the name of the company, but they do beer tours all over the world. And one of the beer tours they do is, this is what I want to do. Like, this is if someone said you get to go on one beer trip for the rest of your life, what do you want to do? This is the fucking beer trip. You fly into Amsterdam, to the Netherlands, and you spend a night there, and you do. I think it's actually a day and a half. You have 2 nights there, so it's a day and a half in the Netherlands. And most people, when you say Netherlands, the first thing they come to their head and be like, "Oh, you like weed? You want to smoke weed?" You know, I would smoke weed if I was there, but I would like to actually drink the beer because there's a lot of great beer coming out of the Netherlands. There's De Molen, Brewery IJ, and there's a bunch of good ones. So you spend some time in Amsterdam, and then you you're staying in a boat, like a barge. It's not even a boat. It's just like a big barge. It's a hotel on a river. And basically, what you do is you go in Amsterdam for 2 days, and you tour a bunch of breweries in Amsterdam, and the second day you retire to your barge, and you whatever you want to do. You want to go to sleep, you want to watch TV, you want to fucking bottle share, do whatever you want to do, and then the next day you wake up, you're in a different location because you're floating down the river, and basically you're sitting there, you're floating to a different part of the Netherlands, and then you're floating to the edge of Netherlands. So you're going to go to Koningshoven, which is a La Trappe. Then you float a little further, and then you go to fucking West Vietelen. Then you float a little further, and you go to fucking Antwerp. So you can go to the Culminator and a bunch of awesome fucking bars. And then you float into Brussels, and you're just hitting off all these great breweries. And basically, what it is, the worst part of travel is traveling. So you're talking about, like, you're excluding the actual travel part of the travel. You know what I mean? You're having fun in the location you're at, and you fall asleep and you wake up and you're in the next place. You know what I mean?
That just sounds, it sounds awesome, but it also sounds like just endless, it's an endless cycle of, like, I'm becoming hungover, I'm drunk again. I'm becoming hungover, I'm drunk again. You know, like,
listen,
I think you have to.
You never become hungover if you never stop.
That is true, which I think would happen.
But that would be my ultimate tour. But I mean, as far as overseas breweries worldwide, a bunch of them would be Belgium. I'd have to go to. I'd have to go to West Vietelen. I'd have to go to Rochefort. I'd have to go to Koningshoven, La Trappe. I'd have to go to De Molen. I'd have to go to JW Lee's. I would have to go to Brewery IJ. I would have to go to I would have to go to so many breweries that were in the Belgian, German region. Sammy Claus, Castle Brewery.
You're heading out. You're heading out to that guy.
It would. Yeah, I'm heading out to everywhere, man.
You're heading to everywhere. Yeah.
How about you?
I will follow suit with you and talk statewide first. One brewery that I really want to hit in Pennsylvania is Victory.
Really?
Yes, I have not hit Victory yet. And like I said, coming up to Canada and not being able to get them, I've started to seek out Victory more and more. Compared to,
I'm gonna pee. You keep talking.
Okay, compared to Trogs and Weyerbacher, I'm seeking out Victory a lot more. Kind of that, like, I passed it by. I've said this in previous podcasts, but I've passed it by so often that now I can't get it and I want it. So that was one of my Pennsylvania breweries. Also Voodoo, which is out in, I believe, Erie. They seem like they have a fairly decent barrel program with their stout called Big Black Voodoo Daddy. And something else, I forget what the fuck it's called, but they've done like bourbon barrel and I think brandy barrel variations of just a bunch of different stuff. Where else in PA? Endless in our area. I want to take a ride up to there just to check it out, because I fucking love Grasshopper. Probably was my beer of the summer. Once I got to try that beer, I never stopped drinking it. So that kind of does it for Pennsylvania. Then nationwide, probably regions, definitely Hardywood, like Matt said as well. Cigar City. Yeah,
I was gonna say that one too.
I moved on from statewide and I've gone regionally. If you couldn't tell, Cigar City down in Tampa, and then just like all those crazy Florida breweries that are are popping up. I think Funky Buddha.
Funky
is down
Buddha,
there.
yeah.
I forget who the fuck else. Then Jester King out in Texas. They're pretty interesting. I've had like we got their table beers. So they're small prints, something in French. I don't fucking remember what it is. It was like a 2 or 3% like farmhouse beer. That was really interesting. Then just the kind of like I'd love to see Three Floyds and like all those guys out like the Midwest. Dark Horse.
You know what fucking forgot, and I feel like an asshole for not saying it. What? And just because I think everybody should go there, even though it's not it's by far my favorite style. I need to go to Cantillon before I fucking die. You know what I mean? Just to go there and just sit in a moldy, dusty, spiderweb covered crevices of Cantillon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So on similar side of them, Jolly Pumpkin. I forget where they're from, but they're around the same kind of like they're of the same school of brewing where if you go to Jolly Pumpkin, it's like fucking filthy because of how they ferment and all the yeast that basically just lives in their brewery. Then Seattle, like just heading out there. Amanda's family's out there, so I wanted to hit places out there. California, that fucking Barley Forge place. I really want to see what the rest of their shit's about. So I wouldn't mind taking a trip out to California to hit a bunch of stuff. Firestone Walker, honestly, being one of my favorite American breweries.
Yeah,
I'd love to see their
the barrel age program
works
alone.
Oh yeah. Then the breweries out in Colorado, I wouldn't mind seeing New Belgium. You know, just from a brewery standpoint of how big they are.
Yeah, how much they suck. Yeah.
Like the barley wine from their fucking Lips of Faith series that I texted you and was like, well, they've done it. They're gonna fuck up a barley wine now. Then Avery. I'd like to see Avery for their barrel program as well, and also I love I haven't had it in a long time, but I love the Maharaja. That's like one of my first IPAs that I really liked. Fucking where else? Jesus. Let's go worldwide now. I'd love to see to experience more of the beer scene that's emerging in Ireland, because they're kind of starting to break away from just the whole Guinness thing, and actually starting to do like actual craft beer. So I'd like to see more from them. There's also breweries in England that I'd like to experience, and just more of the just beer, like the beer culture of England.
See, to me, England, besides like JW Lee's or if Hardy's comes back, to me, it wouldn't be so much like, I'd like to go to fucking Samuel Smith's. I'd like to go to all these places. To me, it would be more.
Is Paul joining the?
I invited. I said Paul Link, but
it's now ruined.
Yes, it is. The English beer experience for me would be more of get in a car and drive around and drink local beer, like your brew pub beers, and not actually go to breweries.
They have the train station runs. See, look what I did. I made them angry.
Fucking everybody up, Paul.
See, I fucked everything up. They got the train station runs in England. The train stations, they made their own craft brew bars at every train station, and you take this one train and it goes to 20 different stations. all across England. So
Nice.
I definitely like to do that.
You know what would be awesome if you shut your mouth and let Joe finish, and then you can talk. That would be great.
All right, see you later.
So what else you got, Joe?
Yeah, I'm actually. I think I might have the opportunity to go to Germany in, like, I think May of next year. And if I do, I'm fairly certain Amanda will break up with me because she would love to go as well. But this is through school, and they've kind of like they're planning a trip, and since we're graduating in December, they're like, oh, you guys kind of get the shit end of the stick, so we're gonna see if they can extend it to you guys as well. So I might be able to swing that in like April or May. But that'll be either way. I'd love to just from a purely brewing standpoint see Germany and also Italy as well. A lot of breweries are popping up in Italy to kind of like go against the typical wine feel that Italy's been known for.
There's weird places popping up like Italy, and like if I could go, there's all these great brews coming out of South America. If I didn't know I'd get like kidnapped for whatever, I'd totally go there.
Sold into like slavery or something.
Yeah.
All right, Paul can talk now for a minute.
So Paul, we're doing the whole thing up. We're doing where would you want to go beer wise? Like, me and Joe pretty much went from PA outward, from PA to the United States to worldwide. Where do you want to go, buddy?
All right, I'm allowed to talk now. I'd like to go to
Speak, fool.
I'm going to Yards in October. I'd like to hit Yards. That was on my list for a while. I kind of like the beers quite a bit. Victory would be cool for Pennsylvania. I'm going to try to hit Voodoo in November. So
are you going out to Erie or something like that?
Yeah, they're out in Meadville. They're about an hour inward from Erie, and they're right at the edge of the Allegheny Forest. My wife and I go up that way once a year, so I'm going to try to convince her to take a little trip with me, and maybe hopefully drive me back to the hotel room. That's the plan.
Nice.
Definitely want to go to Athens and go over to Jackie O's. I actually have someone I know that lives in Athens, so I'd like to visit him and then go see if he can drive me back to the hotel room. It all involves with people driving me home. That's what it all involves.
Of course.
But definitely that would be cool. One of my foreigns is, and it's not a big, on the Whale Watcher CV or anything like that, but it's the Bamberg. I always wanted to go to Bamberg, because I wanted to go hit, Action and Keller's and the Gohlers and all the Smoke Rauch beers, and I always just thought that would be one of the things I've always wanted to do. Let's see, as far as American breweries go, my plan is to go over to the California and just start. It might not be great, but start over in Chico, California, go to Sierra Nevada, and then work up, go to try to hit Fort George, and then a Hair of the Dog.
Yeah,
I
forgot about Hair of the Dog, man.
Deschutes, maybe go up to Deschutes. They're all over in near the Portland area, so I mean, if I get up that way, just go completely apeshit. I don't know. I'm trying to think of breweries that generally I wouldn't have the chance to go to that I'd like to go to. Firestone Walker would be great. I'd love to actually have some of their beers fresh on tap. I mean, Double Jack's one of my favorites. So I've always heard that fresh Double Jack is something you don't screw with. I want to go just to echo yours when you said about going to like J.W. Lee's in England. I definitely want to go to the Fuller, Smith and Turner in Chiswick, London. They do have that, like I said, that English train tour where all the different train stations have the craft brews. There's just so many breweries out there. It's hard for me to actually focus on how many there are, to try to think which ones I want to go to.
It's overwhelming because when you start to think about it, you don't know. You like almost forget because there's so many places.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like there's not enough time to hit every brewery that you want to. You'd like be doing nothing else.
The nice
Which
thing
would not be a
over in
bad thing, but still.
over in Ireland, they have the craft beer revolution thing in Ireland. I mean, that's been going on for quite a while, but apparently there's a couple places that focus on all the craft beer in Ireland. So if you don't need to worry about traveling as far to get as many, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. I definitely have to go check
Well,
it
it's
out.
not that even traveling far around that country alone. I mean,
It's like,
in the time it takes me to get from Canada to my house, I've traveled the length of Ireland.
you have to have
it's
to dodge a couple, car bombs and stuff on the way. Just that's it. You'll be all right.
That's the north.
That's the north. It's all right.
So what I'm just throwing a general invite out there to people if they want to join in to talk about where they want to go. Let's see who joins in and see if the other people have a idea of what they want to go or where they want to be.
While we were doing, as we're waiting for more people to join, while we were starting the show, I was looking on Instagram, and someone put on a picture, San Diego equals best beers in America, period. Like, actually, also, San Diego, only beer city worth mentioning these days.
Okay.
Let's talk about that.
That's just fucking. Obviously, that's not correct because even if they have great beers, it's not the only place on Earth in the United States to have great beer.
It's just someone, I guess, who really, 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 really loves it. So it's a little bit of a diluted mindset.
What I'm guessing is those people are either from San Diego or just have fucking San Diego blinders on.
Well, there's just a lot of fanboys. They're just a fanboy. There's lots of them.
Yeah. But sometimes the fanboy thing fucking, sometimes it works, man. Like the radio show that I do, we did Treehouse 2 weeks ago, and I'm gonna tell you right now, man, every fucking beer I've had from them was fucking ridiculous. Not just okay or good or excellent. It was top notch, over the top, and they really get a lot of that fucking douchebag hipster fucking shit from them. But those motherfuckers, they show and prove,
Yeah, they're gonna be maybe they're going to get super big and super well known, and maybe they get a chance to distribute a little bit more, and hopefully that doesn't ruin their freshness and
here's and that's the funny part. The thing is, two things. They actually expanded their brewery. It wasn't their head brewer. We talked to like their information guy, and they expanded their capacity by 10 times the capacity they could do the beginning of this year, and the next day they fucking maxed out. You know what I mean? Like, they still can fucking distribute beer. Like, they're not distributing beer. Everything's fucking in-house. You have to go there to get it. So you never have to worry about it being fresh, because obviously it fucking flies off the fucking shelves. So
you never have to worry about getting it, basically.
No, you can get it, though. It's only 2 hours away. You can drive up there and get it. You know what I mean? You just have to go and get it.
Where are they from?
Talking about Treehouse.
Treehouse.
Never actually heard of where they're from.
Dude, Paul, I'm telling you right now, like, Treehouse is so fucking good, it's not even funny. Like, I'm like, and this is like me being an asshole that hates hipster bullshit and hazy New England, yada yada yada. I'm like, it's ridiculous, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually planning to go out to Delaware to Pennsylvania, that area, in next summer. Wouldn't mind.
Where are you from, first off?
Oh, Alberta, Canada.
Really? I'm in Ontario right now.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah, Joe, Jordan Joe.
Yeah, lots of nice breweries.
Where else are you?
Sorry?
Where else are you planning to
We were-
travel for.
we were
beer.
talking, Jordan. We were talking. Basically, the premise was we're talking about where we want to visit brewery wise. It was more like talk about locally, talk about in your province, and then maybe in North America, then worldwide.
Mhm.
In my province, Toolshed Brewery, they make tons of English and Belgian session ales, and just some of the best beers I've had from Canada. What were the other two?
Yeah, keep expanding outward. Go like from
Just like kind of keep
national
going outwards from
All right.
there, basically.
I would love to visit Judo Ciel in St.
Oh,
Jerome,
fucking
Quebec.
see, I
Yeah.
forgot about Dudiciel, man. I need to go to Dudiciel.
That one in the North Coast. Throw North Coast in there. I forgot about that one. There's so many.
Yeah, Matt did mention North Coast stuff.
Well, the beer I'm drinking right now is from Black Bridge Brewing Company in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. And really nice IPA. They have a real good milk stout too, apparently. Wouldn't mind visiting there. And I've always, since the week I got into craft beer, I've always wanted to visit Dogfish Head.
Yeah, that's what I want. I've never been there. I totally
Yeah.
want to go there.
I want to do the brew pub. I want to see like the whole brew pub vibe for them.
I'm surprised you didn't say Jordan. I'm surprised you didn't say Destruce.
Oh, Cantillon?
Yeah.
Cantillon, man.
Jordan,
Oh,
I'm surprised
yeah.
they didn't say Big Rock.
Oh, Big Rock.
Gotta go. Oh, he just got a little man boner. Big Rock, baby.
Yeah, I visited Stone like half a year back, and that was awesome.
Nice.
But
San Diego, baby. The only place worth mentioning.
Oh.
I was gonna bust him about this before, but Paul, do you have a working webcam, or are you just like doing the?
And Paul's at work, so he has to be on the DL sometimes.
Oh, okay.
I'm on the DL.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, he'll pop on. Usually, after like 11, 12 o'clock, Paul's good to go with the webcam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So, how you guys have you had anything that has blown your fucking man nipples off lately, or what?
oh, buddy. Just speaking of Destruza, their Panapot 2007 vintage.
Yeah, I saw you talking about that, man. You like that, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Gave it a weight or very high score, but I wish I could have given it higher. But ordered 5 more bottles today. They'll be arriving in a couple days, and I'll take a couple to Albino Rhino Beer Festival.
Better. You better. You better.
Yeah, amazing beer.
For me, it's been the Three Musketeers double bock was just mind-blowingly awesome. I was just completely blown away by it. I can't wait to go to Canada and buy more.
Everything that I've had from them has been so good. I brought down their American barley wine, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I had a bottle share at my house, and that was one bottle that I bought a while ago and just had in my apartment here.
Yep.
With the purpose of having knowing that Matt would want to try it.
Mm-hmm.
So I brought it down, and it was just so fucking good. Everything that I've had from them.
There was a
Has
Baltic
been-
Porter that unfortunately slipped through my fingers, but the double bock. Oh god.
I was gonna pick up that Baltic Porter, but I decided to go for the Berliner Weiss because it was cheaper. Bad idea, I think.
I actually noticed that. No, not this is not a good thing, but it is for Americans that the Canadian dollar went down a little bit, and I told my buddy that lives on the border to get the hell over there, cash in as much cash as you can, and go on a beer run. But I don't know if he did or not. I have to see.
Did you tell Joe to do that?
Yeah, I did tell Joe to get your ass over there and go beer running right now. But
Yeah.
I haven't heard back from him, so.
Yeah.
'Cause that's what I'd be doing if I had the time off. I'd be heading up there and doing a beer run.
Yeah, I went over. I went grocery shopping today, and I popped into the LCBO afterwards, and I picked up Pampas Ass from
Oh yeah,
Great
I
Lakes.
had one of those. Yep.
This was one of the first times that like I kind of disagreed. I was telling like real early in the show. I was telling Matt about it, or actually before the show even started. It's the first time that I've like disagreed with serving temperatures on a can, because they say like Great Lakes suggests 3 to 5 Celsius, which is like roughly 37 to I think 41 and change Fahrenheit.
A little cold.
And
for
I
me.
think it actually does way better, because I reviewed it before we went on, and I noted that there wasn't a whole lot of flavor there to it.
Right.
And then when it warmed up, a lot of flavor really opened up, and I think this is a better beer to serve in like an English
Yeah.
setting.
Well, that's
So
that's
a little
basically
bit,
what it is,
so
isn't
a little
it?
bit warmer.
Yeah. It is an English.
You know, it's an English pale ale, but like 4.2%. So you do it cask serving, and it's way better.
Yeah, because when I had it in dungeon temperature. So I mean, I thought it was very nice for what it was. It didn't blow my tits off, as Matt says, but it was
as Matt
very
would
nice.
say. I mean,
That would be nipples, by the way, not tits.
Nippies.
No, nonsense. First off, are we switching it up? Because it's been tits for like the past couple of weeks now.
No, it's blow my nipples off.
Nipples.
No,
gone.
it's blow your. You said you blow your tits off.
I might throw titties. I might throw titties out there, not tits. I might throw titties out there. The bulk of the time is blow my nipples off, blow my testicles off, and blow some other loose appendage off.
No.
You can live without your ear.
Not. It is blow my tits off
Blow my
that
tits.
you've said on multiple occasions.
I want proof.
You're recorded, so you can go back and check.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I want proof.
Titties.
I'll have it. Jordan.
No,
did you
not
have
titties, tits.
Jordan, did you have a Green Flash Double Stout?
Yeah.
Showing on the thing?
Yeah, bud.
No,
Got one.
I had that.
Good stuff.
I reviewed that like fucking years ago, and then just did another review of it from an aged bottle the other night, and I'm like, oh, this is okay. I probably should not have aged this, but it's nice.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm just. I picked up a 4-pack of this again because I could always find this at this fucking little joint. I'm like fucking
Oh,
What style is that?
4-year-old Weyerbacher's.
What style is that?
It's well, they call it a saison, but it's not because it's 10.5% alcohol by volume.
Mhm.
It's just like it's a blonde barley wine.
I
Basically
remember
is what
liking
it
the. I went with you to Sabatini's and picked up the Weizenbach, the 18.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
I had the 19. I didn't review it, but I did have it, and I think that one needs to sit a little bit. It would be pretty cool, but I did enjoy it fresh.
I didn't like that. That was the mango something, right?
It was a Belgian dark ale, was it?
No, that was the 20th.
Oh, was it 20th? I'm sorry. No, I didn't have the 19. Sorry.
Okay, the 19 was like a mango something. It was bad. Bad. It was the
Not
only
so
one.
good.
Yeah. It was like brewed with mango and it went sideways tart, not good tart. You know.
Okay.
Ugh.
Speaking
Nice.
of saisons,
That's unfortunate.
Saisons, all these imperial saisons. The way I figure is if it's more than 6%, by that point it's just a triple, right?
Well, isn't it?
No, not necessarily.
They call those provision ales, right?
Yeah.
Like that. There's a certain term for them.
Saisons
Never
should
heard
be
that.
3, 4.
Saison should be like low ABV. They shouldn't be like fucking what we make in America.
It should be.
Yeah.
It should be like anything else. It should be saisons, and then once you get over a certain point, it's like whatever you want to call it. Capital saison, imperial saison, redonkulous saison, titty blowing saison. It should be something like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
where you differentiate from the atypical saison.
One beer I tried recently, it's a style I've never had before and I haven't been able to find anywhere. It's a kvass.
Cavassier.
Like
What?
Like
Cavassier, baby.
Like a kvass.
okay, talk about it.
It's a Russian rye beer. They sell it on the sides of the street. And they do it with spices and stuff. It's usually like 2-3%.
They sell it at the sides of the street where you live, or in Russia? I got all confused real quick.
In Russia. Yeah.
Oh,
It's like-
okay. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, okay. It's
Yeah,
like,
it was-
kind of like beer soda, almost. It's
Yeah,
weird.
basically. It's brewed with just rye, so it's got the body of a beer, but it's 2.5%.
So it's just they're probably fucking just fermenting rye to get some kind of drunk or alcohol out of it. They're
I
not
think
like
the
Yeah,
Ghetto
yeah,
juice.
I think it was almost like rye bread. Like they fermented
Yeah.
it from like fucking rye bread or something like that.
yeah, full loaves they put in there usually.
Mm.
yeah. So it's not. I mean, in a loose sense of the term, it's beer, but it's basically they're fermenting anything they have in hand in order to get drunk.
So they need to starch
Yeah,
it, so they just get.
So
rye.
basically, what you said, you got the Russians' version of Mickey's or St. Ides.
There you go.
Well, this is more of a craft version of that.
Okay, so Mad Dog 2020. What are we going out for here?
Is it the green flavor? That's the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Russian ghetto juice. Basically.
Laid back, sipping on good Russian ghetto juice.
One
Ooh,
saison.
My money on my rubles.
Yeah.
Yeah. One saison I had was from Jester King. It was their Petite Saison, 2.9%. Real good too.
It was La Petite what? I had the same thing.
Prince.
Yes. Yeah. That was the same one. I was talking about that when I mentioned Jester King a little while ago.
Oh yeah.
So it was like we saw around where Matt and I live. We saw maybe like 2 Jester King beers, and that was one of them.
What was the other?
Lion something. It was like a hoppy table beer.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I just can't. Was it kind of a sour ale?
It could have been. I think like the label, it looked like a lion's head, but like the lion was like hop cones or something like that. Something along those lines.
I'll Google it right quick here.
Pretty sure it was Noble King.
Fuck you, troll.
Yeah,
Pretty sure it was Noble
Thanks,
King.
Joe.
Don't worry,
Joe.
Joe. He yelled at me
Noble
as soon as
King.
I got in too. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah, it's Noble King.
Noble King.
Noble King.
Tubal
So we
King.
saw La Petite Prince and Noble King.
What's going on, Joseph? How are you doing?
I just want to confirm Joe is right, and you did say tits at least a couple times that I recall.
Tits.
Thank you, Joe.
I still want to say titties.
Solidarity on the name.
It's all right.
With,
I don't know. I don't know what you
bad out.
want to say, but it's tits.
Okay, I want to get a fucking company to check this out. I want you vetted on your fucking whatever.
All right,
I'm gonna do
gonna-
some sick research tomorrow. Okay, I'm on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick research on my
What
titty
podcast
speak.
have I listened to? I'm pretty sure on perhaps episode 11 and maybe 10 and probably 9 and maybe 5.
Turn
And
in
those
next
are the ones
week.
that I've just looked
And somewhere
at.
around like
You
45
said
to
at
50
least.
odd reviews.
Yeah.
Same tits time, same tits channel.
Fine, I'll relent. You guys are right.
You might have threw in some variations, but I'm pretty confident, like about 99% positive that tits was used at least once, more likely at least twice. Titties might have been thrown in there. I don't recall nipples, but I'll give you that one.
Tiddlicious.
Definitely don't recall testicles, and thank God for that one. But
Testicles, no.
no,
Testicles, no. Tits, yes.
testicles would have made me cringe a
that's
little bit.
new. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nipples is new. Titties.
No, nipples
variation
is
on
old, man. Nipples is old.
You got old nipples.
it. No.
Just Harry's.
I wrote Jackie O saying they blew my nipples off, and that's actually what got them to send me beers because I blew my nipples off. I can.
Okay, I'll just write them and tell them I came all over your bottles. Maybe they'll send me a whole bunch of shit.
And if you did,
They'll
they
just
probably will.
block you.
Oh God, sex toys.
I rubbed my taint all over them. Yeah, no. I'm sure Jack Yos is a huge fan of nipples exploding and tearing and ripping.
He doesn't even buy the beers. He just goes there and rubs his fucking balls on them.
Breaker, I really like it. My taint approves. No, I don't know what's happening.
I just envision that Mr. Show episode where the guy's talking about doing like porno shoots with guys, and he's like, "I want that." And he's staring at the taint. Do you remember that? Anybody remember that? He's like, "I want that." Spreads it open.
This is so fantastic. Oh man.
Oh, this will be easy to fap to later.
Fucking Paul, unbelievable. But totally believable. It's Paul.
Everything goes downhill all of a sudden when I get here. It's just
Yeah, it really did. It was weird.
Jordan made it weird. To be clear, Jordan made it extremely weird. You just brought the level down.
we just brought it down, baby. Bring it down.
Mm-hmm.
I want that. Spread it.
I just like how Jordan rolls in. He's like, blah, 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 blah. Joe's like, where are you from? Who are you? I have no idea what's happening right now.
Who the fuck
Well,
are
it was
you?
the fact that like we're talking, and then he comes on, and no one acknowledges that he's here,
Well,
and we just keep talking. I'm like, all right, let's let this new person that I don't know, you clearly do, but let's let him talk for a second. Where are you from, friend?
he's Jordan, and he has a very unique cadence. So, Joe, you chime in. Do the whole brewery thing. 'Cause I know
Average
you're watching. And Joe knows who I'm talking about.
I know.
Yeah, talk about
People that don't know.
Beer Patrol Joe. Fucking you. Where do you want to go? Like in-state, continentally, and internationally. Where would you want to go?
I want to hit all AB and Bev breweries without a
Shut
shadow
your
of a doubt.
fucking mouth.
Damn it.
Don't be a pussy. Let's get
I'm with
old.
you.
I always thought it's going to be the quintessential places that all craft beer nerds want to go. Nothing exotic for the most part up front. I'd like to get out to San Diego at some point, obviously. That sounds like an awesome place. I'd also like to do the whole New England, the Vermont, Massachusetts, a bunch of places up to Maine, basically down the East Coast from like Maine to like New Jersey type of thing. I'd also like to explore a lot of like the southern states like South Carolina, North Carolina. I've been to North Carolina a couple times and they have some good shit down there, but it's seemingly like all over North Carolina, so you'd have to do like a whole fucking state trip down there, which is cool. My brother is actually moving to Florida a couple weeks from now, so hoping in the future to get down. He's moving to Clearwater, which is around Tampa, to get down to Cigar City, and then possibly
Nice.
make a trip to Funky Buddha. I think it's like 3 hours away, and just see how stuff's going on down there. Also, Washington State, Oregon, all the way to the Pacific Northwest would be fantastic, especially Oregon. I just, Hair of the Dog and places like that would, I think, be a great time. And I'd love to get Average Dad to go out to there's a fruit beer fest, I believe, somewhere in Seattle, I believe it is, Seattle, Washington. I think it's in the summertime.
Do they have casinos in Seattle?
Yeah.
Of course they do.
Then you're good. Then you're good.
Yeah. I think he would love it though. Like a fruit beer fest. Like I forgot what I watched it on. It was on one of those beer shows, like Beer Geek shows, or I can't remember what. But it looked really cool. Like the beers they brought for fruit beers, some of it was just crazy sounding. So,
I'll see if Amanda's uncle knows what it is, and I'll get back to you. because they
Yeah,
live
cool.
out in Seattle.
Yeah, I remember seeing it, being like, wow, a fucking beer fest with all fruit beers, chicks and old men. There we go. That's what they're going for, right? Hi,
German
Daniel
Barrel's
Harper.
running their beer and stuff.
Right? Shout out to Daniel Harper, Paul. Was that what we're doing? Anyway,
Yep, there it is.
no, no. So, as far as like European countries and stuff, obviously Belgium would be awesome. Love to go to the UK at some point. I'm sure
hate
Paul would
Belgium.
love the UK so he can
Belgian
drink all the
beers.
dirty beers, right? Huge
Yeah.
fan of the eating dirt and drinking dirt and mixing it with water sometimes.
That's where I live. That's what I drink.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, nothing too exotic. I would like to just hit up places I've never been before. I mean, I don't know how it is or what you guys discussed. I'll probably end up watching the show later this week.
What about internationally? Do you have any place
like I said, Belgium just
He's
in
saying
general.
countries.
What's specific?
I wouldn't mind.
Prof.
I wouldn't mind visiting Norway. They've got some great breweries.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd love to hit up a ton of Trappist breweries. Just to do it would be fun. Obviously, I would not like to go to Cantillon because fuck Cantillon.
that's right. See, there you go.
No, I wouldn't mind.
Oh.
Cantillon. I would give it a roll, but I don't know.
The history of Trappist breweries would be awesome enough of a reason to go.
Yeah.
Why you lying to me, Paul?
At Cantillon's brewery, their beers are like €5 or €6 a piece, pretty sure. So
Sounds like Canada. No, honestly, our not so good buddy / good buddy Ewart, he has a tendency to go to Montreal a lot. I'd love to go to Montreal and go back. I think some good shit. Get Duty's Ale right from fucking fresh there, and actually, in all honesty, that would be the kind of the way to go. Like hit up like some Vermont breweries and then pop over the border and go back.
It's so close. It's like you could do a really good fucking loop there.
Yeah, you really could. I mean, if you just like went up you went to like through Massachusetts and hit up the tree houses and Trilliums and just went on like a fucking straight line through Vermont and right to fucking Quebec and back, I think it would be absolutely epic. You hit up some awesome places. I think the Maritimes would be cool despite the lack of breweries out there.
Despite the bitter people.
Yeah, you know.
My buddy just one of my friends in the program is actually from Nova Scotia, and he was just out there, and he like toured around like I think it was Halifax for a day, and just did like a walking pub crawl, and just went to like a bunch of different places.
Well, see, so
there's actual places to go there.
Yeah, the city. I mean, Halifax is a very nice city apparently, and they have a lot going on now. Our buddy Lee, the king of beer tube, self-proclaimed king of beer tube. I chuckle at that one, but no, he goes up to, or he's in the what I think they call the Valley, which he is not close to Halifax. It takes him, I think it's like if you drive, it's like 2.5 to 3 hours, and he doesn't get to experience that, but they have a lot of nice pubs. They have actually privatized bottle shops in Halifax. So, like, if he lived closer, he'd get to experience a lot better beer because they do get a lot of imported stuff from the U.S. and whatnot.
Honestly, I think Lee just likes to complain.
Just a touch.
Lee is the old man amongst people his own age.
Bitter
Americans. Yeah, he likes to get these kids off my lawn. No, he's he doesn't, but it's unfortunate for him because he goes to like his local NSLC and you know, I think there's a couple local breweries close to him, Sea Level and Bad Apple, I think it is. But there are a lot. I mean, just driving through the Maritimes, I think would be beautiful scenery and just like the whole atmosphere would be great. But I don't know as far as breweries go, like what would be
Garrison.
Awesome. Garrison maybe, or
Garrison.
You know, I know there's a lot of small ones that you know are very very, very small that they don't distribute. Everything's on tap and local, so
I would like to try out Bad Apple Brewing out there, just because the guys are dicks, and I think I could get along with them.
Dicks.
Sounds like a lot of people on craft beer. What? No, I would also, and I think this is probably more of a reality than anything else in the near future, I'd like to do a trip to Chicago and then up to Wisconsin, maybe to Iowa, in those surrounding areas, because they get awesome distribution in addition to all the cool breweries around there. I think that'd be a good time as well.
I
But
gotta
yeah.
say though, one of the funniest brewery moments I've had was me and my brother and my dad went out to San Diego, visited Stone. Right, we're at their pub, and my dad orders a Corona.
They serve Corona there.
No, no, they don't.
I was gonna say because if they actually did that, I would think that would be even more hilarious than them not having it.
But the look on their face was like, "Oh shit." But yeah, he really
Sir,
enjoyed
you are
it.
in the wrong area.
Yeah, yeah. Fizzy yellow beers for.
Now, did they recommend anything?
Yeah,
Did
they
they
actually.
recommend anything, or did you say like, Dad, they don't have anything here like that?
No, they actually have like a huge selection there of local beers, and they do have some craft lagers, and he actually really enjoyed them. He liked the darker beers more though,
Nice.
like Stone Chai Spice Stout. He liked a lot.
I have a bottle of that. I really want to try it.
Yeah,
It's like a
Me
bunch
too.
of their IRS.
yeah. My little brother.
I have a tooth.
Go on.
Oh, what? No, you go on.
Oh,
Somebody fucking talk.
my little brother's got a frickin' bottle of the chai spiced imperial stout here, and he's just flaunting it in front of me. Hasn't drank it in months, and he's just, hey, check out what I got, and puts it back in the fridge. Getting real angry at him.
We don't like
I-
braggarts. We Is that so?
Keep it classy.
Oh yeah.
San Diego.
Yeah, other breweries you want to visit.
What's up?
Other breweries
missed-
to visit.
I missed Stone when I talked about California. I kind of lumped California as all one thing. Stone is definitely one for me that I wanna see out there. Matt mentioned La Cumbre in New Mexico.
Elevated IPA, right? They do elevated IPA.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
one I had was their the La Cumbre.
La Negra.
Yeah, La Negra.
La Negra.
That shit. Yeah, buddy. Old Hickory in maybe North Carolina.
North Carolina, yeah.
Yeah.
I
I'm
missed
still-
the entirety of Canada while I talk about mine. So like, just Bellwoods and like Toronto, different Toronto breweries.
You gotta get up to Bellwoods, Joey. Get me fucking around. You
I
gotta get
do.
up there, bro.
I do.
Oh,
I
yeah,
have to get up to fucking Bellwoods.
Joe, I visited Driftwood and Phillips in Victoria last month. Really nice. Really nice. But yeah, I'm still kicking myself for not going to the brewery and Lost Abbey.
Oh,
Lost
Yeah,
Abbey would be
those are
a
two
fun
that I
one,
did.
man.
Yeah, that would.
You're hitting 3 breweries at one shot. That would be the fun part about it. You're getting fucking your hop fucking freshener series. You're getting your fucking Lost Abbey. You're getting your Port Brewing. So you're doing all 3 in one
Yeah.
fucking shot.
We just didn't have time, and my family loves Stone Brewing so much we went twice, but which wasn't bad. I liked
yeah.
it. But yeah, I'd love to visit the brewery.
Russian River's another one out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we could sit here for another hour and just rattle off fucking California breweries.
Isn't that what we're
Yeah.
trying to do?
No, fuck California. I love you guys.
Are we?
No.
Oh fuck! I ruined it then.
Green
Shit.
Flash, Ballast Point. You
Mm.
can just go on and on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump on Matt's back here when you mentioned a North Carolina brewery. Just because I've had them recently, another fellow beer tuber, Johnny G of Crafty Beer Reviews. He just did Wicked Weed Week, and
Yeah.
they do a lot of
Oh,
farmhouse and a
yeah.
lot of sours. They are the most, at least to this point for me, because I've had like 4 or 5 beers from them now. They, for me, are the most approachable brewery I've seen from farmhouse and sours that I've drank to this point. Like everything they had was fucking really good, with a couple of them being just phenomenal. And I would just love to see not only the rest of their sours or farmhouse beers, which I know for a lot of us here, like Matt and Paul and even you, Joe, to as an extent. Some of them don't resonate with us, and when we get let down, and like some of them are so super sour and just it seems to be not a lot of balance and stuff. They had it in spades, and they make a lot of good regular beer apparently. So I would just like to check out their like regular shit.
Is that
Well,
what you're
that's
talking about? With just being approachable, like their sours aren't maybe as like, for example,
they're not
as,
Cascade
like,
fucking
enamel or
acidity
anything.
bombs.
Well, yeah, some of the, I did one called Oblivion, which was a sour red, and it had so much nice sweetness, like a lot of caramel and brown sugar, and just confectionery sweetness up front, that when you were hit with, like, I think it was aged in red wine barrels, and it wasn't overwhelming.
It was like a Flanders red ale.
So it was a Flanders red, which again are more approachable sours in general, but
Yeah.
it was so complex but so nice. But even their farmhouse, they did a bunch of farmhouse with like different Brett strain, or they have their own house Brett strains. But one had fucking what the fuck did they have in it? Not hibiscus, but I can't remember. Oh, rhubarb, and it was so strange but so awesome. It seems like their house Brett strain isn't like overly funky or adds anything to the beer that is off-putting whatsoever. And they were so drinkable too. Like the drinkability from them were off the charts, which for me, when it comes to a lot of these new age farmhouse beers and sours, where people are just trying to impress you to the point where like, look how super sour our sour is, or look how super funky our farmhouse is. It's
I
like,
think I
nice.
mentioned that like in a past podcast. Like everything has to be better than the last. Like your higher ABV beers, like your high alcohol beers, have to be higher than the last one.
It's
Your
not even
hoppy
better.
beers have to be happier than the last, and now your sours have to be more sour than the last beer.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's not even better. It's like a challenge beer. It's like how hoppy can we make it? How sour can we make it? And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I mean, to get back to fucking what Joe was talking about, like I had 2 Wicked Weed sours, and I'm not a big sour guy, and I really enjoyed them. But the one dude I do the radio show with got they just came out with like, they're not known for their IPAs, but they're fucking. I just had their Freaking Nature IPA, and it was fucking. It was literally like I was eating like weeds and earth in a good way. It was like the most earthy fucking IPA I've ever had in my fucking life, and I was like, this is really fucking good. Like,
and if you're a good brewery, man, you can brew any style well, as long as you put enough time into it, dial in the recipe, and actually, try to look at it as a work of art as opposed to anything else. And they've done sours and stuff so well for so long. Nice to see them. I mean, Freaking Nature might have been like one of their regular beers. Like, who knows? But I've just heard about like their regular offerings over the last 6 months. I'm like, wow, I really want to try some of those.
Speaking of like breweries, like you said, they're trying to do over the top sours, and I love it, but I months and months in January, months ago, I had one beer, gave it like a 9 out of 10. Destruza over here, their Ypres, 2011 vintage, whatever. But honestly, to this date, probably the best Flanders style red ale, and that's probably my favorite style. And it's just a really, really good beer.
Nice.
Yeah, I should have
I think as far as like the overwhelming.
I don't know if I've had too much from Destruza, honestly.
They're hard to get out.
Yeah.
I can get Panapot here, which is awesome, but that's about it.
Dude, this Struce Black Albert is like
oh,
ball
I
tightening
won't try.
fucking.
See, I was
goodness.
just gonna say both, deep personally, but yeah, either way.
And they
Reference to ball.
they do a I think it's a blend between Black Albert and something else. There's like skulls on it. I drank it before. I'll have to look it up. But they do like some kind of weird blend with that too. Like I'll look it up. You talk.
You know, they also what they also do?
Blend.
Try to fuck you. They put their Black Albert in fucking the 750s, and they put like coffee with it, and they call it Mocha Bomb, and all of a sudden it's $42. And I'm like, you can get fucked multiple
fuck
times
that.
in your fucking eye hole. You kidding me?
No.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Like, because 3 variants came in, and I can't even remember them all. Because when I walked into my local bottle shop, when premiere, I'm looking, and I'm like, it's 43, it's $42.99. I'm looking, I'm like, do I get all 3 for $42.99, or what is this? The regular Black Albert is $7.99 for an 11-ounce bottle. Why would I pay $43 for a $7.50? Like, no? Like, never?
Like fucking.
Like, do they think they're fucking 50-50?
Matt and I have talked about fucking Sabatinis for a long time now on like multiple podcasts, and
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know, right? I was just there the other day with a couple friends, and I'm walking around. You know, I'm trying to get my buddy to. I'm trying to help my buddy find something, and we see Pizza Boy throwback from a couple of hours ago when we actually first started talking about them. One of their sours was there for like $44 or $43. I'm like, I wouldn't fucking buy that. Like I wouldn't spend $44, like $30 is basically my limit on a single bottle of beer. You know, I'm not going to spend $43 on a bottle of beer.
I feel like a dumbass because I bought it twice in my life. Cascade Brewing's Blueberry. In California, I bought it for $38 American, which is like $50 Canadian.
Which is a mortgage in Canada.
38 in California is like 42 or 44 in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania, guys. It's.
And then it's like, and even more in Canada. Like, ridiculous. But I found it for $42 Canadian out in Victoria last month. I had to pick it up. Awesome beer.
See, as far as for me, I get upset because I feel like so many of these like hard to get hype beers are obviously put at a price point and set purposely, like gouging, and I don't know who's at fault for it. If it's like, for instance, like Cantillon comes here, Fontaine, they come here, and you're talking for a $7.50, $40 to $50 for a bottle of their sours, and I'm like, if I was to buy that on whatever the fucking, I forget the name of the website where you can order shit straight from Belgium, like it's like $15-$20. I know shipping, but
it's
if
like
you do
beer Belgium or something like that. Right?
Yeah, it's like beers from Belgium or whatever, and it's like
it's Belgium in a box.
Belgium in a box.
Belgium in a box. Yeah.
Belgium in a box, and if you do a big enough order, you can probably get away for like maybe $5 a beer, depending, shipping wise, depending on what you're doing. And if you were to do a big order and say split it with people, you could probably get Cantillon stuff for $20 to $25. They come over here in these places, and I think it's the Shelton Brothers, but I also think it's like the local distributors.
It's not. It's not Shelton Brothers. I'll tell you that right now.
Why do you say that?
Only because, not that they don't want to make money, but Shelton Brothers have been around for such a long time, and Cantillon's been around for such a long time.
Yeah, it has been.
There's their distributor in Pennsylvania, and the eastern half of Pennsylvania is a brewery called Stockertown. Stockertown Beverage, and they handle all Cantillon in Pennsylvania, and the way they handle shit, I'm not saying that's universal across the board, but like the Stockertown supplies them all the time with Cantillon, and then they just like sit on it and let it creep, and then just push it towards Philly for like fucking exorbitant prices. small sample size.
Yeah.
Who knows what the fuck's going on? But it's like you can walk into Stockton right now. Like I could drive an hour. It's only an hour away from me, and I can walk into their warehouse, and there'll be a corner full racks of Cantillon, and be like, "Can I get a case of that?" And be like, "Nope, it's going to Philly," and they won't even sell it to the public, and they're just gonna fucking like dice it up.
Well, here's the thing though: is Stockertown one of those like are they a wholesaler? Are they like
they're a distributor? Like Shelton Brothers Shelton Brothers does two distributed points. Shelton Brothers either distributes like a atypical middleman distributor, or what they do is the sprinkle distribution, I guess you would say, to where you have like a lot of like breweries like
what I'm talking about is
Prairie, or a lot of like breweries. They'll sign with them and they'll do target distribution where they'll sprinkle their beers all over the place instead of doing like.
Hold on though. What I'm talking about though is like, are they a beverage place where the public and a bar or restaurant or whatever can buy from them, or is it just
Stockton? I can go. I've walked in there, and that's where I get my DCL from. Stockton.
Okay.
I walk in and buy it.
That's what I'm asking. Like, can the general public buy from them, or is it just restaurants and bars and shit?
You're specifically also asking about Shelton Brothers or the place that
Matt's talking about? Stockertown that Matt's talking about.
Yeah, Shelton Brothers is like a middleman. Like you can't walk into Shelton Brothers and buy stuff.
No,
they distribute to distributors
they're like
or
a wholesaler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get all the shit and they give it to distributors that want it, and then those guys bring it in. And for a long time, Shelton wouldn't. They actually had a lawsuit here in New York, going back to early 2013. So from early 2013 to late last year, we didn't get anything from Shelton. All the McKellar dried up, all the Cantillon, all of that stuff. Like there was nothing fresh because they were tied up in this lawsuit, and then they finally came back. I will say that like it even goes further than like the Shelton Brothers or whatever. It's like, I'll give you another example. I know, you're gonna get inflation. That's how this world works. From one year to next, things are gonna go up slightly. But 3 years ago, I could have bought Firestone Walker anniversary beers in New York State for $14 to $15. Now I can't get them for less than $25. Now I'm trying to think. Firestone didn't raise their prices by 1.5 to 1.75. I know they haven't, because people on the West Coast will be like, I walked into my local fucking Costco and whipped out my dick, and there was a case of Sukaba, and it was fucking $3. And I'm just like, what? Like, where are you getting Sukaba seriously for like $12? Not on the fucking East Coast. Oh, well, shipping. Okay, I'll give you the shipping. Throw $3 or $4 into the shipping, okay, per bottle. I'm cool with that. Now those bottles are 16 to 17. Places on the East Coast, all of a sudden, $25 to $30. And it's like, people are just okay and accepting of that. Like, it's a great beer, so let me just get price gouged out the yin-yang. And I remember buying that beer 2 years ago for fucking $17.
The cheapest?
Well, why aren't you buying it anymore?
The cheapest that I've ever bought Parabola was like $22, and that was in Philly. I bought it online 2 times for $26 and then $29.
Yeah.
I've never had any Firestone Walker, actually.
It's a really weird thing to hear from somebody that's in the States. I get it, you know what I mean? But it's like weird. Like Firestone Walker out here is just like Firestone Walker.
I mean, I had them.
I can't
they
find
were
it.
on tap in fucking DC, and I got to like try a super fresh Union Jack. That was really fucking good.
Yeah, super fresh Union Jack and Double Jack and fucking all the Jacks are fantastic, fresh.
Go on, sorry.
Well, no, I was just going to mention, too, like, it's funny, man, you're just like, Firestone Walker around here used to be, hey, you walk in, you could, get Sukaba, you could get Parabola. Did you have to show up probably the first day it showed up at a bottle shop or something? Sure. But now, another thing Firestone Walker has done, they went from 12 bottle cases to 6 bottle cases. Why? So they could spread their distribution out through the new states they're fucking going to. So now, these places still put in orders for 4 cases, and guess what? You get 24 bottles at a store, not 48. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, they're gone in 2 hours, and there's people. Someone in Premier this past year for Parabola fucking whipped out their lawn chair, came in, put it right in the fucking store at 9 a.m. on a Friday. They knew they were going to get Parabola in that day. Fucking got it in at noon. The guy sat there for 3 hours waiting for Parabola to get one bottle. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm done. Like, I'm totally done. Like, that's... No.
Yeah, I won't fuck with that. I won't wait. I won't do that shit, man.
When I was able to pick up Parabola in Philly, that was the first... Like, I was looking for 17. It was right around the time that 17, their anniversary beer, was coming out. I asked the guy if they had it. He wasn't sure because he was just coming back off of a vacation. So I spot Parabola. I go, is there a bottle limit on Parabola? Knowing that this is typically a beer where you're only able to get one of them. Mm-hmm. The guy goes, no. Just the usual. In Pennsylvania, per transaction, you can do 192 ounces. That was the only limitation there. So I'm like, all right, fucking score. Grab 2 Parabolas, and then I got some other stuff as well. But yeah, like that's like I had to, that was the first thing out of my mouth. You know, bottle limit on Parabola. That was the first question and the only question that I had.
And you know what? I realize that, you know, when you talk about price and like availability, you can come off sounding as like, oh my God, you're complaining. So I'm not complaining at all. Let me be clear. Mm-hmm. That's fine. If someone wants to put in 3 hours to get a bottle Parabola, that's their prerogative. They can do that.
If you want to sit outside of a brewery for 6 hours, go right ahead. And I've done it before, and again, there's nothing wrong with it and whatever. I have a problem with Firestone Walker when they up production, they up distribution, and now all of a sudden they're cutting their cases in half. They're cutting the amount of beers in an established market in half so they can spread themselves thin. You know who realized they were doing that 2 or 3 years ago and then pulled out of many states? Dogfish Head. Dogfish Head was having a huge issue. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago.
I've never had Dogfish Head because I can't find it anywhere.
And that's for good reason.
Dogfish Head is a weird brewery where it's something weird along the lines of like if you were a bar or a restaurant or whatever, and if you weren't already getting Dogfish Head, it's really hard to then get Dogfish Head.
They completely pulled out of states, I want to say 3 years ago, completely, like they were into states that they just like, it was like 3 or 4 states, and they were like, yeah, we're upping our distribution, then they're like, wait, we don't have the capacity, hang on, we can't, sorry for you guys, but we just can't do it, we whatever ran the numbers, it's just not possible. So instead of fucking who were their, clients for 10, 15, 20 years, they said, you know what, you guys have been good to us, you guys have been doing whatever, we're going to stay here, and we're going to figure it out, and we're not going to we're not going to cut your orders in half, and that's what you need to do. I think, like, Firestone's doing it wrong. Hopefully the whole deal with Duvel will actually help them get the East Coast back up and running a little bit for some of their bigger releases. But I
think that's what it's all about anyway. It's about getting help for distribution. It can't be for making beer, obviously.
I don't think so.
So, Average Joe, you live in Buffalo, right by the albino rhino, close by, eh?
I'm right by Joe, because we're Joes. But yeah, Joe is probably about 30 to 35 minutes away from my house. He's in
I'm
St.
about
Catharines?
half an hour away from you, Joe.
You live in St. Catharines?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
There's apparently a really amazing bottle shop right by the Ontario border there in Buffalo.
Yeah, Premier Gourmet. That's the one yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like how far away from the border is that?
It depends on where you're coming over. If you're coming over in Fort Erie, Ontario, it's about 10 to 15 minutes. If you're coming in from Niagara Falls, about 25 or so, 20, 25.
That's fine.
Like I live in St. Catharines, Jordan, and I maybe. Depending on, like, I go to school at Niagara College, so if I leave straight from the college, I'm maybe 45 minutes away. If I leave from my apartment, I'm probably an hour, roughly, away from there.
You got to factor in, going over the border and whatnot, too.
Yeah, the time at the border is always the fucking key.
Because I'm looking for rare beers from the brewery, from Dogfish Head, stuff I can't get
I
in
don't-
Canada
Yeah,
much.
well, you're not going to see that at this
I
bottle
could
shop
be
unless
wrong.
you're hanging out.
I was just gonna say, I have not seen brewery beers at.
Yeah,
Leader
we
Today.
do. We get
Oh.
sour in the rye. We get
Okay,
we get
so you're
Utar.
gonna get the brewery tarot stuff.
Yeah.
Now.
We just got that a little while ago. The new labels.
Oh,
for the,
I haven't had any, but over here in Alberta, we can get Saison Roux, Tart
Okay.
of Darkness.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, very nice. Awesome. Smoking Wood Bourbon Barrel Aged.
That's delicious.
Yeah, that was really fucking
Really?
good. No.
Yeah,
Jesus
man.
Christ. Like,
I'll show you what I can.
Ontario fucking wishes they can get that shit.
Yeah, they
Or
do.
they don't know that it even exists, you know?
Or they just come over the border. Why not?
Yeah, really.
We can get Bois here.
Fucking Blois, really?
It's $48 a bottle. So
Okay.
Well, we got their anniversary. The last 3 anniversary beers showed up here. Bois. What was the other one? The one this year started with the C. I can't remember.
Last year's one was Sucra.
Yeah, we got
don't-
Sucre, we got Bois, and then I can't remember the other one. But yeah, we got. It's weird because we get
Bray or
just.
something.
Yeah,
shit like
yeah,
that.
yeah. I think it was like. I think that's actually was the name of it.
Oh,
You okay, Jordan?
I think
Do you need a moment? Do
died.
you need to shut off the camera and have some alone time? I don't.
Oh, classic.
Speaking of cameras, where's yours, Joe?
I was just hopped on. I told Matt I could only hang out for about a half an hour. I got to get out of here about 5-10 minutes or so. But I wanted to chat it up
Alright.
a little bit because he was like, "Hey," I was like, "Oh, you guys are still talking?" I thought that shit started at 8 o'clock. What the fuck?
Yeah.
No, it
well,
started at fucking 9.
hey
Oh,
guys.
Okay, never mind. It was scheduled for 8.
it's me,
It was
baby.
scheduled for 8.
Yeah. Life gets away. Gets in the way, man. You
Yeah.
know? How it
9
is.
hours of beer reviewing and making lasagna, it really gets
Dude, my lasagna came out fucking banging. Dude, if you make, I don't know anybody out there, listen, if you actually make lasagna, not just Stouffer's, shove it in the
And
fucking,
he fucking makes the pasta.
you're making
himself,
scratch.
rolls it out,
Homemade
fucking-
pasta.
Yeah, I made the pasta sauce to make the bolognese. I made the roux to make the fucking cheese sauce. Scratch.
Yeah.
That's
Make-
like a 7-hour marathon. You know what I mean?
Make-
That shit takes.
Make homemade ricotta. Homemade ricotta, man.
Yeah.
There we go. I've done it. Amazing lasagna. But I'm super pumped right now because I just realized something. Okay, speaking of brewery beers back whenever, we can get Bois here. I've yet to invest in it. But Smoking Wood, Oud Tart,
Alright.
where are we? Saison Roux and Tart of Darkness, but I remembered on my trip I locked away a bottle of Seven Swans a Swimming.
Oh, nice.
Still,
You guys don't get the cheapest brewery beer I've ever seen, which is Hottenroth?
yeah, I can't get it. I can't get it worth, I'd pay $15-20 for that. I just can't get it. I just love breweries beers. So.
That was Hottenroth was maybe like $4 or $5 around where Matt and I lived. Honestly,
much?
like I said, like $4 or $5.
They were just giving it away. Is what they were doing.
That was J&H Beer, where the dude is a fucking brewery junkie, and he fucking comes all over that place, and then they just send him shit. So
Sounds like me. Fucking love their beers.
Fucking fanboys.
Yeah.
yeah,
Assholes.
Hey,
But
man.
yeah, I got Hottenroth for $3.99 or $4.99. It was
How was
ridiculous. Really good. It's just like a nice Berliner Weiss.
Oh, all right. I guess. There we go. Not the biggest Berliner Weiss fan. They just seem to.
What?
I don't know. I
Awesome
love
for you, Jordan? Is that what you're trying to say? Berliner
What?
Weisses are fantastic. I personally enjoy them. I like them.
I'm gonna
enjoy
say
it.
right now, over the past like year and a half, I don't know what it is. Fucking Berliners are my jam, dude. I don't know what it is. Something clicked.
They're refreshing. I feel
I like them. I definitely like them. I just like the lambics, the sours, stuff like that. The Flanders. I hate gozes. I hate goes.
Goes in the United States are weird, man. Like typically they're not salty and they have a little bit of kind of nuttiness going on and stuff like that. So like it goes in the United States or in North America, it's weird.
Most gozes and
What they taste like is straight up. Like I don't want that.
Straight
like,
up. Wow.
It tastes like salty semen.
I've never tasted semen, so I can't speak on behalf of it.
I came in at a really weird part of that conversation, so
I
We were
was
just
weird.
Jordan just
Talking about
saying
semen?
he was just saying he didn't like gozes because they reminded him of salty semen, and that was to specify that was what he said, no one else.
okay.
I'm just guessing, man. I'm just guessing, but from the smell and shit, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Well,
Asparagus and chlorine.
The issues with gozes for a lot of the, as Matt was saying, North American ones, it's like everything else that America does. They have to make it big. So, like a traditional goza,
Yeah.
does it have salt in it? Is there salinity to it? Yes. How big is it? About 5% of the actual drink. When you get to the American versions, like the Westbrook, it's like half the fucking drink. Same thing with the sourness.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be very subtle, not fucking sour.
A traditional standpoint is salinity for the mouthfeel, and then a little bit of tartness.
Yeah.
You've all had Hennepin, right? From
Yes.
Omegang?
Yeah.
It's got that tart, slightly sour character to it. That's what sour beers are in Germany. They're not as crazy as here, you know?
I wouldn't agree with that, but anyway.
For the most part. They're not just vinegar.
Is there a plane crashing somewhere? What's happening?
Paul decided to fucking chime in for a half second. That's what happened.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
keep trolling.
Yeah. Let me rephrase that. Paul decided to chime in besides his fucking, I don't know what that is, a heater or some kind of air vent that runs like at like a billion that just drowns out half of the fucking sound of everything that ever happens when Paul comes in. That thing didn't chime in. Paul fucking chimed in. Like when Paul unmutes his fucking mic, it's like it's basically like that's what's going on.
He is at the workplace.
And this is what happens.
He is.
No. When Matt gets trolled.
Greg Bylog, fucking he chimes in all day, and his wife is screaming over the shoulder. There might be some douchebag, but it's not some weird air conditioning vent.
But before I leave, I just want to say, Bylog drank 50 ounces of chelada in like a half an hour.
And didn't die.
And didn't die. He might have hated me a lot.
He wins, right? He wins now, right?
Well, not
50
really.
ounces of enchilada and chased it with a half a thing of tequila.
I explained to him, like, you can't troll. Like, he sent me Millennium Buzz and fucking Stonewall Light, and he's like, oh, these, you know, he has that little evil fucking Bylog grin when he's like, oh, you're gonna drink it, blah blah blah, and I'm like, you fucking send me those. I got something for you. He didn't even know what a chelada was. Now he does. He knows exactly what a chelada is. He knows what 50 ounces of them are, and I'm gonna try to give him some sweet variants. So it should be good times.
Well, let me ask you this before you go, Joe. you sent me a beer mail, and I have the actually unboxing video like loaded. I just have to like click post. And do you know what you sent me? Did you drink all the beers, or did you guess? Half and half.
I drank every single IPA I sent you. I drank so like whatever 6 or 7 of them. I drank everything that I've sent you except for the habanero beer from.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I don't know if I want to actually drink that, but I'm going to drink it, but I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Habanero, is it Horseheads?
That is the word. No, it's Kuka, which is I've been to the brewery. I've been in the vicinity of the brewery. They're actually closed when I did that trip a couple months back, but that was the only one I didn't drink. I drank the rest of them.
Just out of curiosity,
yes, I am gay.
I've probably drank about like 4 or 5 beers. I drank. Let's see what the fuck. Actually,
Mystic Mama Campfire Stout. I saw your check-ins. Mystic Mama Campfire
Stout. Mystic Mama, which I think sucked.
You didn't like it, really? Wow. See,
no.
I just sent Bylog one. He loved it. He was all about it. But then he didn't
like
Chiladas, though. But he didn't like Headhunter, and I didn't really care for Headhunter either. And
you know what? That's what I'm trying to get into. I loved that fucking Willoughby wheat.
The hazy days.
Oh, fucking that shit was, dude. At that ABV, I was kind of blown away. And I know I had it before. On draft, but I never had it in can, so I was out and about drinking it. But the fucking Avery, that cocoa...
Yeah, the fucking passion fruit wit beer?
Dude, that's fucking delicious!
Yes, it is. That's why I sent one. I was like, dude, I first of all, I sent you a lot of, like, I got a lot of extra stuff in Cleveland. That's why I sent the Bylog. I picked it up specifically because I'm going to, if I send out a beer mail, whatever, and plus, you know, I can get stuff here that you're probably not going to pick up or Joe's not going to be able to get. So I was like, fuck, I'll send some stuff. And there's most stuff that I enjoyed or whatever. Like, I don't know if you drank Anti-Hero. I wasn't
not yet.
I enjoyed that one. Headhunter, I love White Raja from the Brew Kettle. That's like my favorite.
I haven't had that yet.
Like
what did I get through? I got through the porter from Rochester. That was okay, but
porter was all right.
It was okay, but it was disjointed. Like there was weird. Like it was like a milk porter, like a milk, like there's lactose, but there's not. But there's
that's the best beer they make. So take it.
Yeah. And then there was one other one I had from that, but so far so good. That fucking hazy days like that. I wish I had that in like 30 packs for like $30.
It blew me away because I picked up their Willoughby peanut butter coffee porter, a couple growlers, and they actually released that beer like the end of July, or it was like kind of end of July. I think it was like July 20 something. And I didn't expect any cans or anything to be there because I'm like, I don't know too much about Willoughby's like releases other than they released their Imperial peanut butter coffee porter, which was Nut Smasher in July, and I was just like, well, I like the regular one, so I picked up a couple crawlers, and they had 4-packs in their fucking fridge. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna give me a 4-pack, I guess. And now, next thing I know, I'm like, this is probably the best, one of the top 3 American pale wheat ales I've ever had, because I usually hate fucking American wheat ales, just normal.
That's the thing. Like I would actually said that in the review. I'm like before I even tasted it, I'm like American wheat ale. I'm like,
yeah, boring.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, not even worth like either make a Hefeweizen or wheat beer. What the fuck are you doing? But like that beer changed my thought. I'm like, I fucking crush those and drink those all the time and love them. I mean, it's not mind-blowingly like great, like oh my god, I'm gonna give a beer 100 or anything, but it's like it's a pale wheat ale that's hop forward, and it's like holy fuck.
It's one of those beers. Like I think I actually rated it like a 93. I think that's what I rated it. And this is the one thing like people like actually like sometimes I rate a beer and I'm like okay a 90 for this alt beer or this Maybach. I'm like, it's a 90, and people are like, oh, why don't you give it higher? I'm like, you have to understand, like, a 90 for a Maybach is like, that's like 105. Like, like you can only max out an American wheat at a 93. So if I give it a 93 to an American wheat, that's like 100 for every other beer that comes across the board. You know what I mean? Like, there's only so much ceiling for it.
And I think that's for a lot of us.
Like a 75 for a pale lager.
Sure.
That's still too high.
Crickets.
Yeah, a lot of
I had one.
what Matt was saying cut out for me, but I'd say 75 is too much for a pale lager.
I've had one, but they just dosed it with tons of hops. New Zealand, so it's gonna be
So
good.
basically, is that an IPL?
Yeah. I remember, right? You drank the Hazy Days when we were having a little conversation, and you were throwing some crazy ass tropical fruit notes at me. Apricot, peach, tangerine, craziness, Joe. You.
Yeah, and there was dankness in there too. Like, because I want to say that
mango
That's
dankness.
exactly what I said. Exactly.
and they have to be using Citron Mosaic. Like, they have to
And
be
it's
using one of those.
and the juiciness is like a non-ripe juiciness. It's like a fleshy, non-ripe juiciness. It's not like fucking like overly sweet or anything like that.
Juicy, not sweet. I think people kind of mess up the difference because it's like just because it's juicy doesn't have to be sweet, and it can be
Exactly.
juicy. Yeah, no, I totally. That's cool. I can't remember though. I'm trying to think. The other beer I sent you, but I don't know. I know you did Campfire Stout, and I saw you being too enthralled with that. I know Paul wasn't. I think the nose on that beer is phenomenal, and the taste is a letdown.
The nose is off the hook, but it's just like
Yeah, Campfire Stout's not too bad. I mean, it's
just the nose sets you up, though.
beer.
The nose sets you up for like, holy shit, this
it really
is
does.
s'mores, and you're
yeah, but a girl, if a girl's hot and she sucks in bed, I mean, come on.
Well, that's kind of how it's just a tease. That's all. It's a little bit of tease.
Yeah.
Maybe you got teeth in you a little bit.
So Matt, I finally took your advice. Invested $25 or $18.99 in a Boulevard wheat wine.
I told you not to buy the 1.0. I'm
Wait.
like, don't skip the wheat wine. That's what I told
Boulevard
you.
wine?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I thought
Remember, Jordan, remember I said the wheat wine, I think it was good, and then like a week later, I was like, dude, did you have the wheat wine? You're like, no. I'm like, don't buy it, man. I'm like, I don't think it's worth it. Remember that whole conversation?
Was it late at night?
When you were
It was via Facebook, and it was via text. So you have no excuse. It's not my
A
fault.
letter in the mail. Do not buy this.
I'm
fucking beer.
washing my hands of that. I'm out. You know, like.
It was awesome, guys, but I gotta take off. So
Okay. See you, Joe.
All right.
have a good
See you,
one.
Joe.
Yeah, bud.
See ya.
Yeah, dang. I was debating.
Here's the thing. It's cool to experience it. You're gonna enjoy the experience. It's a $7.50. You paid what, $18. It's not gonna blow your doors off, but at least you got to know what it tastes like.
Age it.
We've all actually, yeah, do that. Age it. Sit on it.
All right.
Lock away for about 10 to 15 years, and you'll be good.
Like, oh my god, I'm so glad I took Matt's advice. This 25-year-old wheat wine's amazing.
Only the alcohol's taken over. I don't know.
It's phenolic.
Phenolic.
Phenolic. It's phenolic. I hate my life. I shut the door. Is the noise a little bit less in the mic?
A lot less,
Okay.
actually.
They're not it's not an air conditioner, it's a giant machine. So I shut the door.
Did you ever know it was that loud, or no one ever said anything?
You don't really hear it after a while, unfortunately, and obviously other people do, but when you're around it, you don't. It kind of blends away, if you know what I mean, in your brain. I'll probably have, hearing loss forever because of it at some point in time.
What?
What?
Huh?
Huh? Huh?
So, got the coolest beer label ever here.
What?
You should say shit while you're looking at it, so that way we can see it. Check a clicking.
The pinup chick in leather.
Buddies, I got a crazy ass beer label here.
That's not the best.
Tits!
Oh, but
There's only one best beer label in the history of mankind. Only one.
JW.
West Veterland. West Veterland. It's a bottle, no label, just glass etching.
That's the new Bourbon County Stout I saw. They're doing the etched bottle, no label. I guess.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing a neck. They're doing a neck label.
Well, fuck them and the stupid asses, and yeah. Woo!
Shots fired. I like it.
Jordan, what were you gonna say? I'm sorry, buddy, I cut you off.
West Vlateran.
Yeah. A lot of artwork on that bottle.
What is famous titties? I'll take the penis biter for 500. I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, this beer, this label is the censored version.
It looks like a more pornographic version of Naughty Neighbor.
Yeah, and the uncensored version is basically this without the thong.
Oh,
Cisco would be proud.
Crackety ass. Crackety ass. Give me that tape.
I'm sending it to the albino rhino for sure.
Final chug, guys. Final chug. I got nothing. I've just been drinking some beers, and all the beers I've had lately sucked.
Yeah, no.
Nothing good?
Nothing.
Yeah,
I think the thing that pissed me off is I got beers that I thought were good.
I just opened this guy for myself, so.
Fuck you and your stupid fucking... See, this is how I know Joe's drunk. Because he's opening this beer right now.
Yeah,
That's how I know.
I just cracked it open.
I'm drunk as well, because I'm just fucking drinking this. I went to my fridge, I'm like, what have I shared with my friends? Flying Newfoundland barrel aged. I'll drink that.
You're online with your friends. That's like sharing it with people. Fuck it.
No. If opening a Flying Newfoundland by yourself is like, that's like Joe's like next level drunk right now. Like that's like, tell us about it. Actually, everybody, shut up. Joe, talk to us about the beer. That's what I want to hear.
You're the only one talking.
So, first off, I'm gonna tell you what I've had so far. 2 cans, 2 pounders, tall boys for people who don't use the term pounder, cans of Pompous Ass from Great Lakes. Most of an All or Nothing from Underdog's Brew House. Kind of dumped that out midway through. Then all of the Mercury that we reviewed. A bomber of my own Imperial Stout homebrew. And now I've moved on to the Flying Mouflon bourbon barrel aged. This beer, I'll do a little mini review.
Yeah,
right
do that.
Now, live.
Do it.
Beer
So,
sex.
shut up. Kind of, I get like a savory, almost salty aroma. It's kind of odd. Sober or drunk, it would be kind of odd. Then, just that like old kind of caramely like barrel character that you get with a lot of these bigger barrel aged beers. Then flavor wise, more of the same. It's a little salty, kind of got only what I can describe as old caramel for the flavor, but just way different than like fresh Flying Mouflon. Like I said, I have I think one more bottle in my cellar. Did you mute fucking everyone so that I could just talk for this?
Yes.
I figured you did. Anyway, so yeah, like just caramel, like I said, old caramel, which is really the only real characteristic that I could think of for a lot of these bigger barrel-aged beers. And what I mean by these barrel-aged beers is anything, basically anything out of a barrel. So Hardywood, bourbon barrel-aged barley wine, Batch 9000 from the brewery, a lot of the Cane Anniversary stuff, Bourbon County Stout, to a lesser extent Black Tuesday. I could keep listing. Sorry. I could keep listing bourbon barrel aged beers for the rest of the night, but I'm not going to. I think the amount of stuff that I've listed gives you a good example. What would I rate this as?
93 garbage.
Fucking garbage. You know, it's a shitty beer in general. And bourbon barrel aging, it didn't really do it much favors. So, no, seriously though, the beer is okay unbarrel aged. You know, I'm not the biggest American barley wine fan, so it has that going for it. Barrel aging it almost for some reason takes it to like an English style barley wine. All the hop character basically goes away. You just get such a malty caramel toffee characteristic to it. It's amazing. So I personally would give this probably an A to an A minus, like A minus to an A. But yeah, I would love to see with that last bottle that I have just what it'll do for some time. So there we go. I did my own solo review on Love Beer Radio. I think you can unmute everybody now.
I'm trying. Shut your mouth.
I will not.
It was. I actually don't know how to unmute people, so we'll figure it out. I actually think they might. Yeah, see, there you go.
Fuck, it's past midnight.
There you go.
I'll do a quick review if y'all want to hear it.
Yeah, let's do it, Jordan.
Yeah,
something.
Go ahead.
Alrighty, tidy lefty loosey guys. We're gonna drink this goosey.
Goosey?
Oh yeah. So, Siren Red Ale from Lighthouse Brewery in Victoria, BC. 8% alcohol. Had a few sips. It's water, barley malt, hops, yeast. The appearance, brownish red. Finger of head on it. Taste and aroma are basically the same. Slight bitterness, very malty, roasted malt, caramel malt, some dankness, kind of like a roasted garlic, some, what is that, pineapple, grapefruit, and mango. Good beer, pretty damn good red ale, American more than British. Nice beer. I'd go 8.25 out of 10. Cheers.
Good job, buddy.
You'll probably enjoy this one a lot, actually. It's a really nice drinking beer.
Where are they out of? Your area or?
Victoria, BC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So there's shit tons of breweries apparently in Victoria. That was on the one of my places to go check out when I go over to the West Coast.
When I was there, I was doing more family stuff, but within 20 minutes walking distance, there was 4 brew pubs and 5 or 6 breweries.
Nice.
Yeah.
Any of you motherfuckers have this lately?
No.
Oh
I've
no,
seen
I haven't seen it yet.
so
Ridiculous.
many posts about it. Ridiculous.
It's
What is
delicious.
It's delicious.
What is that?
Ridiculous from Founders.
Yeah, from Founders, ridiculous.
Ooh, like Founders. Nice.
I'm not gonna say I'm a biggest Founders fan, but this is delicious.
I can't get their stuff. It's messed up. All my buddies can, I just can't seem to find it ever.
I can find their shit usually about almost like a year and a half after it's on the shelves, and then all of a sudden it shows up where I'm. Oh, there it is.
Yay, Pennsylvania distribution system.
We just got Blushing Monk on the shelf.
A 3-year-old.
Oh wow, that's been out for like fucking ever.
Yeah.
A 3-year-old India Session Lager. That sounds good.
Yeah. Aged lager. Lager. I haven't had the one that you had, obviously, Jordan, but I have had the one Joe had, and I completely agree with him on the idea that, as a general, Flying Mouflon is a okay beer. Maybe 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10 kind of a beer. It's okay. It's not as good as some people. Some people like it. I'm not a big fan of it so much, but the barrel aged version with all the nice characters from the barrel, plus mellowed down and let the malts take over and do some crazy ass things, it's a 9.5 out of 10 beer. It is super savory, really nice.
The one he just reviewed, right?
Yeah, the one he just reviewed. Right? It is a nice beer.
I've never had Trogue stuff, so I don't know.
Well, you'll have to have it when you come to Pennsylvania.
Or when I come down to the
Yeah.
Albino Rhino beer.
Yeah, I'll bring some stuff up for you. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, bring up some Weyerbacher or
Weyerbacher.
Wire.
I'll bring up some Voodoos, some Weyerbacher,
Weyerbacher.
some Trogs, and I'll bring you all the Yinling. I'll bring all of the
Some
Yinling.
old
No,
paper.
I don't want that. I
I'll
want
bring
some
all the Yinling.
Victory or Avery.
Avery's not from PA, but I can bring you Victor.
Oh, all right, yeah. I'll bring over some Penaput, some the brewery, and I may be able to get Cantillon.
They want all the Cantillon. They want it all.
Yeah,
I'll give you all the Yinling.
Cotillion, I love Cotillion. It's one of my favorite beers.
Kulunian Cayenne?
No, those cantaloons. Get those cantaloons up in you.
Is that a Dark Horse shirt? I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, I like Dark Lord, and I like Hunapoos, and I like the Dark Lords and Hunapoos.
Yeah.
Speaking of, can you guys get any Three Floyds out there? I really want to try that.
Not
people
where
that
we
can't
live,
get it.
no.
I can't get it here. I know they can get it over in Ohio or whatnot.
How about Southern Tier?
Oh yeah, we got Southern Tier from
Oh,
Lakewood.
fuck. Yeah.
We're actually Joe and I.
You can get Southern Tier, you don't want it.
I like Southern Tier.
Unless it's Goat Boy. Unless it's Goat Boy, you don't want it.
Didn't try that
What
yet. I
about
haven't. though.
their pumpkin or
You
whatever?
can get it.
Fuck that shit in its stupid ass.
I don't like pumpkin beers.
I
But I
can give
get
you
it
some
for you.
old pumpkin if you want it.
Yeah. I like Backburner. Backburner is a 2013 barley wine that floats on the shelves now and again. I see that. I like that.
Yeah.
I didn't try their oatmeal stout because their oatmeal stout's pretty old right now, but I see it bottles now and again. I didn't try it yet. I have their Goat Boy.
I have an oat from 2011, I think.
Yeah.
I can get
Fucker sitting on the shelf.
I can get a bunch of Demolin stuff out here. Just tons.
Yeah. I've had 2 Demolin beers. One was cease and desist, and it was off, and it was horrible. I had to throw it in the garbage, unfortunately, or in the sink rather. You don't throw a beer in the garbage.
I've had
Yeah.
their. Yeah, that's Rasputin.
Yeah,
When
Rasputin, the
it's
old
fresh,
I had
amazing
the barrel aged version of cease and desist, which was not turd, which was very bold, but it was nice. But for some reason, it wasn't as complex and nice as I was hoping it would be. It would be.
Is cease and desist
Ah.
what they came out with when, like, I think North Coast was like,
North
hey,
Coast,
don't
yeah,
fucking
sued
do
them
this?
over the name Rasputin, I think, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is why it's called Rasputin in Canada, and cease and desist for us, probably.
Right. And I was surprised Erie didn't get in the mix because they have Old Red. They used to call cease and desist, and now they call it just Old Red, I think.
Paul, you would
Okay.
love their Helen Dominus, which means Hell and Damnation. It's an amazing Russian Imperial Stout.
Mm-hmm.
It's like $8 a bottle here, which is
Nice.
cheap in my
Yeah,
opinion.
that's all right.
Yeah, and we can get their Bomben and Granaten,
Mhm.
which means bombs and grenades. It's like 12 or 15% barley wine and a huge cork top, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I might bring that down. Yeah. We can get Whiny Bastard here, which is pretty cool.
That is a
From
good
Nickel
beer.
Brew.
I had Kentucky Bastard recently. That was all right. Actually, the funniest thing is, maybe this is just me, out of all the variants, I think I like Bolshevik Bastard the best. I don't know why.
Nah.
Kentucky.
Yeah,
Come
Bolshevik's really fucking good. I like Kentucky of the two variants between Kentucky and Whiny. I like Kentucky a little bit better.
Well, I've had Bolshevik, and the albino rhino sent me that one. Really appreciated it. Really liked it. It just wasn't. I knew it's a great beer. It just wasn't what I expected it to be.
Yeah.
But
Bitter Maritimer.
Whiny Bastard has been described to me as a less sour Tart of Darkness, and that sounds amazing.
No, I actually would not put it as a less sour Tart of Darkness. Coming off of having Tart of Darkness first and then Whiny Bastard, Whiny Bastard is just a wine barrel aged imperial stout. Tart of Darkness is a sour black ale sour stout.
You get where I'm coming from, you know?
I kind of do, but like having both of those kind of independent of each other, you know?
What wine did they use in that? Pinot? Was it Pinot Noir?
Honestly, I don't know.
I think it was Pinot Noir. It has a nice vinous kind of note to it. A bit of that tart sourness that you get from phenolic and the wine character, but it really isn't that sour. It was just a nice kind of soft tartness from the wine, and it's a nice brew. But for some reason, I don't know why. I think I had all three now, and I think I just like Bolshevik Bastard the best. I don't know why. The simplicity of it, maybe the simplicity of it being it's so bold and nice. I think it lost a little bit of its initial boldness when it was in the barrel and picked up some of those other characters.
I did like a review of some of the Canadian stouts that are around the same percent. So like basically Bolshevik and Tempest, and I really fucking liked the Bolshevik. You know, I have 3 or 4 bottles Asian in my apartment here, and then also 3 bottles at my house in the States that are just solely for aging.
I had the bourbon barrel aged version of the Double Tempest, and that blew my whatever extremity you want. It blew it off. It was amazing. The Double Tempest Imperial Stout was just so great. The regular Tempest is
Dude,
nowhere near
I had
as
that
good
as well. I had the. That was a really good beer.
I definitely probably put I would definitely put Bolshevik above Tempest, though. Yeah, but the Double Tempest and Bourbon
Just
Barrel
regular
Age is,
for regular, yeah, I'd probably do that as well.
yeah. And that's the funny thing is you get the Kentucky Bastard isn't as good as the Double Tempest Imperial Stout Bourbon Barrel Age, but then
Yeah.
the Bolshevik is better than the regular Tempest. But overall, hi Lee.
How's it going?
Motherfucking Lee.
Lee. Now you have to go back and do everything we've done already, which is all of the.
I was
No,
just gonna say,
no,
like,
no.
what the fuck were we talking about like 2 hours ago?
No, I originally wasn't going to join because the topics looked too intelligent for me to join into, but then I saw you let Paul and George.
Yeah, it's me. You didn't let me in, so it's all right. Don't worry about it.
Listen, it's called the dumpster fire shit show for a reason. Listen.
Yeah, I kind of like really went. I had a hard time getting topics for this week, so I was just like, fuck it, let's do this one.
So Lee, break it down. Like, if you were to go to any brewery, if you could go to it, like, break it down from a province, country, continent, and then worldwide. Where would you go?
Province. I'd probably go to Propeller here in Nova Scotia. As for Canada, fucking Bellwoods definitely would be the one I'd want to check out. And worldwide, honestly, probably fucking Duvel, Mortgart, whatever, would be one I'd want to check out.
Fair enough. You didn't have to go that succinct, but it's all good, brother.
Yeah.
We all just rambled and said about 1 million breweries for everyone.
No, seriously. Besides those breweries, which person? If you had one person, brewer or otherwise, if you had one person, you could fucking haul off and punch in the face as hard as you fucking could, like as hard as you fucking could, like destroyed their face. Who would it be? Like famous person, like brewer, actor, singer, songwriter, whatever. If you could haul off and just demolish their face in a red heat of fucking fury, who would it be?
Elijah Wood.
Yeah, I mean, that's 5 for 5, Elijah Wood. There you go. Lee Russell.
I just want to make that baby.
Elijah Wood is what now?
He's a type of poplar. If you don't harden it enough, it warps. If you will try to work it, but it smells all right to a point where it's kind of funky. But
a little gamey smell. It's all right.
Yeah. But then it bricks in the middle.
Now it's a shit show.
Yeah, no, I'd stamp Elijah Wood right in the face and make his face look like a man's face instead of a little boy's face. He's too old for that now.
Yeah. Now, what did you think? What did you think when they actually put him in the new Maniac?
I haven't watched it yet. That's why I haven't watched it, because I've been just dreading it.
Yeah.
There's no way he can look as convincing as fucking what's his face there, Joe. I can't think of his fucking name right now, but fucking ugly motherfucker.
For the first Maniac, I think they wanted. I don't know. Obviously, they wanted the name, to sell the tickets. But I was saying they said something to the extent of we wanted someone who didn't look like a maniac. If you know what I'm trying to say, the whole Norman Bates idea. Mm-hmm. The nice guy, and then he's completely Looney Tunes. But I don't really watch new movies because I'm a bitter old man. Kind of like you, Lee.
Yeah, exactly. Join the club.
There you go. Scrolling on the Facebook. Scrolling.
What are you drinking, Lee?
I'm not. I'm depressingly sober.
Oh.
Why? Let's talk about that for a minute. Why?
Let's talk about some sober.
Allergies have been too bad for me to go out and do any shopping.
Yeah, really? Really?
Yeah.
That's your excuse? Next excuse.
Yeah,
Come on.
I saw the post about the Steve Buscemi eyes.
Yeah, unless I want to go walking around like a fucking vampire with sunglasses on at nighttime. There's
You
no
know you want to walk around like that. That's the thing. It's like, if someone was like, oh, what does Lee want to walk? I would assume he walks around like a vampire at night. Do whatever you want.
Nosferatu guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
You own a cloak. Pop a cloak on.
Well, I have several trench coats. I could convert one into a cloak, definitely.
Exactly. You'll be all cloaked up and ready to buy some beer.
Yeah. Well, hopefully his allergies will be over with by a fucking Wednesday, so I can actually buy some beer. You know.
That sucks. No, I know how it is, man. It's the worst.
Got a chance to crack open some Imperial Stout stuff. I got the Russian Imperial Stout from the Baltica from Russia, brewed in St. Petersburg. Baltica's, they've always been a hit or miss company for me because they brew some good things and they brew some shit things. Actually, one of the best beers they do is like basically a bumped up lager, a high gravity lager called Number 9. Actually, that's probably the best beer they make. But I was excited about the Russian Imperial Stout, Russian Imperial Stout from St. Petersburg, but it was substandard. The alcohol played on everything, and everything was just more roasty toasty with a light body, almost like an Imperial Porter, or say. So that was a little sad.
It's a little thin.
That's not really what I would like in a stout.
Especially a Russian Imperial Stout. I was hoping for a little fruit, just a little fun stuff, but that didn't happen. So I was like, well, big deal, hit or miss, swing and a miss, no big deal. And I picked up the Huge Anchor Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout from Anderson Valley, and I got the same goddamn thing, except there's bourbon note in it. And I was extremely angry considering it was a $16 bottle. And I'm like, really? 2 shitty beers in a row? And I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, I'm assuming it's a nice, substandard bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stout, but it was nowhere near as bold as it should have been, especially for the price tag it had labeled on it. But the only nice thing about it was the spicy bourbon note. So I did get at least a nice spicy bourbon note with some caramel and some little bit of a oak tannic note, mixed in there. But the actual base beer was just, why they thought this would be a good base beer to throw and charge an outrageous price, I'd never know. So I'm going to be off Anderson Valley for a little bit. If I see anything else, I'll definitely think twice. But maybe I was just in a bitter old mood. I don't know. You never know.
Which beer is this?
I mean,
that
was
huge
Anderson
Anchor.
Valley you were talking about?
Yeah, the Huge Anchor.
Oh, okay. Oh, fuck. I have a Huge Anchor in my cellar right now. I got a Blood Orange Goza.
Oh, yeah, okay.
If you want to pronounce that.
Mm-hmm.
From them. Didn't open it. Yeah, a bunch of us, by a bunch of us, I mean a couple of friends of mine from my class went over to Premier Gourmet, and we got some cans, and my one friend, Kat, she opened it that night. And I didn't try it specifically because I knew I was going to review it. So they say that it was like an orange creamsicle almost.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
That was... Then I opened mine.
I'm debating getting the 50 Eclipse Imperial Stout and pairing it with the bourbon that goes with, but I don't know if it's worth it.
How much is it in your area?
I have 3 variants of the 50/50 right now, so
I have all 12.
Oh, you already have them all. Well, why don't you just do a vertical in the same night? That would be easier.
Yeah.
Just do all 12.
When I open all 3 of mine, I'm doing all 3 in the one night. Sorry.
Yeah. They're very nice beers. I do like them. I mean, I'm always a little butthurt by the price, but I bought one for $24.99, and I was less butthurt.
Yeah.
I was less butthurt by that price. But overall, they're fine beers. I mean, I'm definitely not disappointed when I drink them.
Yeah,
They're
I
not,
don't-
they're
one
not
I was
blowing my
looking
extremities
for
off, but
the most is the one I really wanted was the Elijah Craig 12. That's
Yeah.
that like I'm not a big whiskey guy, but Elijah Craig is my favorite my favorite bourbon.
right.
Oh yeah. So I can get that one. Should I get the bourbon and the beer to pair?
I wouldn't necessarily pair with the beer. I mean, unless you're just like taking a shot to see if you get sort of the same notes or whatever. But I mean, if you're just gonna go Boilermakers, just go on full on fucking Boilermakers and ruin your night
Yeah,
all
really.
together.
Yeah.
No,
Um,
I'm just thinking of doing something real special for my
The-
500 beer review in
Um,
If you could get a big
half a
mixing
year.
bowl and just pour them both in the
the
mixing
thing
bowl, that would be
the
special.
thing is with like my own home brewing, I've aged a lot of stuff on bourbon soaked oak chips, and without the heat of the whiskey, you really taste what the bourbon is. So you're gonna not really taste the bourbon. You're gonna get a lot of the heat if you're gonna pair the beer and then the bourbon that went along with it.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
true.
So you get a little bit
Well,
more of the taste of the bourbon out of the beer, more so than the high alcohol bourbon straight, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I can post a review in the comments here. I did a review of Phillips Super Cooper Triple IPA, their hot draw, and a mix of the two, and I reviewed those. It turned out awesome.
I'd like to do that with Dark Horse's Crooked and Double Crooked Tree, because individually they both have great
Yeah.
aspects, but I think together those aspects
It's
would
even
blend
better.
together and we could rule the world.
See, Jordan,
I-
if you wanted to pair your bourbon with the beer that is aged in the same barrels, what I would do personally is do them separate from each other and then put the two videos together as one video. Like say drink the beer, get your bourbon notes or whatever, see what notes you get out of the beer, then do a little bit of the bourbon like maybe an hour later or something, and then put the two videos together and maybe compare. But just doing them side by side, you're not going to get much. Honestly, I don't think you are.
Do like a 5 hour long review with just 5 minute shoots of each one, you know?
The thing is with those is they're not all bourbon. You know, some of them are rye, some of them are like wheat whiskey.
Yeah,
Like
there's
they're just so there's such different variations of whiskey that it like you
There-
kind of if
there's
I would agree with Lee, like do the beer and then maybe if you wanted to, like if there were stars of the show, pick the bourbon that was or the whiskey, sorry, that was the barrel for that
Your
particular
favorite.
beer.
Your favorite, and then do the whiskey.
Yeah.
It would be
there's
great
a
if you could get the
couple-
base 50-50 and then do a comparison like that.
We'll never fucking see that out.
No, I know, it's so sad. Makes
Yeah.
me sad.
There's a couple rum and tequila barrel aged ones too.
Cool.
Oh, that must be new then.
Get a nice
Yeah,
one afterwards.
2015.
Straight with a hat on.
Mm.
I like it.
I think there's a 35-year-old rum barrel one. I really want to try that.
Yeah.
Yeah, now if you wanted to pair like a beer with a cigar, that would be different. Like that 35-year-old rum barrel one, that sounds like something you might want to stick a cigar in with. That would be something. But
Do a beer review first before you ruin your palate with this.
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Tastes smoky. Really?
Tastes a lot like cigarette fucking.
Joe was talking to me.
paper.
Like, I'm trying to remember what beer it was, but he was excited because I think it was actually I think it was the Tavern Porter from Yards. But he was drinking it, and he's like, I've never actually like always made fun or not made fun, but like always kind of like scoffed at the idea of that unsmoked pipe tobacco, like that nice, soft, sweet notes of pipe tobacco. But he got it out of that beer. He's like, I've never got that out of a beer ever. This is awesome. And I'm like, it is awesome when I get that note. I love that unsmoked, nice tobacco note when I get it in a beer now and again. I love it.
Yeah, as opposed to the some old fucking hillbilly who walks into the store that you're standing in who has smoked far too many cigars in his life. And
Yeah. I'm chewing on an old corncob pipe I found in the garbage. That kind of... I'm like, ooh, tasty.
I've smoked 8 million cigars and have not changed my clothes in 3 years. Smell.
Right, that smell. Yeah, it's a little different. Or the pack of cigarettes that your dad dropped behind the truck that you found 3 years later and thought you'd smoke them because you'd be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, dry mouth.
I can still appreciate a good beer after an 8-ball, so...
What don't you appreciate after an 8-ball?
Right? Hashtag Batgirls.
Hashtag fat girls? What? What's going on? Fat girls. I hate
Matt.
Did
But at least I'm not weak.
Did Matt just fucking fuck? Did Matt fuck off on us? Like, where is he?
Yeah, I noticed there hasn't been as much shouting lately. He's gone.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It's like somberly quiet. It's like I'm at a funeral. Except I'm not naked.
The Martian invasion is over.
Yeah.
Right now, maybe you guys will know. You probably had it or have heard of it. It's the Flying Monkeys Matador 2.0, the Imperial Spiced Rye Ale.
How's that?
In Matador 2.0, it's the Imperial Rye Ale aged on Spanish cedar. I have that at the house.
Never had it.
Ah, you have disappointed me.
Yeah, well, I can't really get flying monkeys, so...
Well, you got the hookup, baby. You suck some dick. Yeah,
shut up, Jordan.
I can only get their IPAs and their session beers out here.
But last time we were in Canada, Matt bought every bottle of the Chocolate Manifesto, and I'm not talking about in the store. I mean, we went to Canada. He came back with the whole bottles, all the bottles. We got a trailer and a truck.
I'm not surprised that he did.
We bought all the bottles.
But the thing is,
of that beer makes me want to throw up.
Really? Chocolate Manifesto.
Yeah.
Thing is,
Ugh. I love that. I thought it was good. I don't love the beer as far as, I need it. But I did appreciate it. I did get that cherry cordial note. There was a little dark fruit in there. Chocolate cheddar cherries, that kind of rum-soaked chocolate cheddar cherries. I definitely got that out of there. I'm a sweet freak, though. I can drink sweet beers without a problem. I can, trying to remember what the hell.
Yeah, so can I until I throw up at Matt's house and.
Then it's not so good anymore. I used to be able to drink Jack Daniels, but I can't anymore because of that same reason.
Throwing up at Matt's house?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It was last sweet beer that I had was that Southern Tier Creme Brulee. I liked it. I liked the style of it for what it's supposed to be. It had that it's not a fake note, but it was more that extract, that pure vanilla extract, more so than vanilla beans. But it was good. I liked it. Chocolate Manifesto is a good beer. It wasn't as thick as I thought it would be, but it's still a good beer. I mean, I would definitely give it a go. I'd like to hear what you think about it, what some of you guys think about it. I mean, other than obviously you drank and threw up. So try not to throw up and let me know what you think about it.
You mean you don't want a vomit report? You don't want to know the consistency and how much, the volume?
How much? Well, I mean, if there was pineapple in it or chunks, that's fine. I mean, I'm good. As long as can you videotape it? That'd be fine. Possibly naked, that'd be good too. Sometimes it's hard to align all those different things. Manifesto, puking, naked. I understand that.
I mean, come on, Paul. You know me better than that. If I'm going to throw up, I'm going to throw up naked on myself.
See, that's why I love you. That's why you and I are the best friends in the world.
Exactly.
There you go. We make priorities, damn it. We make priorities.
Yeah. That's what adults do.
Yeah, exactly. That's what responsible people do, Jordan. Wake up and sniff it.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul,
What?
I gotta send one of these shirts out to you, man.
I already have shirts with scribbles all over it.
Well, you like black metal, they're
I
all
know.
like that.
I know. They're all like. I like that picture. It shows a big bunch of trees, sticks and trees put together. It says my new black metal logo. I'm like, yep, that's basically how it works.
Actually, the thing is, this band I released vinyl for. I did the
Cool.
guitars, so pretty cool.
No, that's awesome. You gotta give me a. Can you get a vinyl version of it too? I need it signed.
I might.
You need to have to suck a dick or something, but you need to give me a vinyl. Sign it. I need Jordan's signature.
Now, if you can get him a
Only
if you can get him a
copy I have left is my own.
Yeah,
That's
you don't
the
need
thing.
that. You did the guitar. You know how it sounds. Just send me yours. There you go.
Yeah,
now, if you can get him a vinyl T-shirt, that would be the
Yeah, give me a vinyl T-shirt with scribbling all over it, and sign it.
yeah. I could bring it down to Ontario in May.
We'll see what I can do. See if I got. I'm gonna start doing music again. If I got anything else out or whatever, I can see what we can bring up too for you.
Oh, well, speaking of, I just sent my demo to a producer, a split tape,
Mm-hmm.
Vermolder and Devotion, and it's probably gonna be released on cassette in 2-3 months.
Cool. Yeah, that's
But
awesome.
I've got 6 or 7 pre-released cassettes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll send you one or give you one in person, whatever.
Cool. Yeah. Bring it to the fest. We can do some tape trading and shit.
See, I'm not sure if I heard this correct. I'm pretty sure I heard Mulder, as in Fox Mulder, and cassette. Is this 1995? Did we do a time warp in this fucking hangout?
Yeah. Yep. We did it. We're here. Scully is still the hottest person on the internet. Or on the
You guys are gonna feel old, but I'm 5 years old again. It's 1995. You know.
That's when I
tapes
started
are
doing
thing.
this shit. Oh, really? God.
I deal in nothing but cassettes these days. Cassettes are the shit. They got like a shelf life.
Yeah, if I do personal releases, they're all on cassette now. But sometimes I do send out to pressing plants and do CD runs. What I want to start doing is vinyl. I just don't have enough money right now to do it.
They're expensive, dude.
Yeah.
What you posers need to do is start redubbing your shit over like old Dukes of Hazzard's 8 tracks that you.
Well, actually, I told the running joke was I'm so cult I'm going to do everything on 8 tracks and no one can listen to it.
Well, that will be a win-win for everyone because no one wants to listen to it.
Exactly.
No one wants.
That's what I'm saying, baby. I'm trying to save the world. I actually have 8 tracks at the house and beta. I got beta tapes too.
Nice.
Yeah, it's part of the Werewolf collection. With that and my laser discs. Except my kids watch my laser discs all the time.
Hey, beta was the better format.
Yeah. Magnetic.
Guys, I have to go. My dog's being all fucked up. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Like, he's being, like, he has severe allergies, and I have to go fucking take care of him. So, you guys have a good night. Wrap amongst yourselves. Thank you very much for hanging out.
Without Matt, nothing happens. So we're wrapping it up right now.
Yep.
Well, no, I'm gonna let it stream, and you guys can just go
You're
eat.
just gonna fucking let it go until we all fucking.
Yeah, just let it go, man.
No, I say turn it off. I
Cool.
can turn my camera back
That's
on.
kind of what we were doing before then. So
It's gonna get dirty here soon, anyway. So.
Well, then, fuck you, all y'all.
Toes are coming off.
See you guys.
No one can see you, Paul. So you can do whatever you want.
Awesome.
Nudity.
See you, Matt.
Whatever.
Meow, meow, meow. Ah, titties. Titties and beer. Titties and beer.
Yeah, I'm gonna be back in a bit.
Titties and beer. You're still alive.
And 2 are gone now. So
Now we can invite everyone.
oh,
Where the strip is at?
I'm pretty sure that open invite is still out there.
Yeah, it is.
So,
Alright, see if Megan can get in. Ethan Flair.
there you go. So how's work, Paul?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Shit keeps breaking. That's why I have to keep fucking muting and going away. Yeah, there's a giant machine in not even anywhere near close to me, but that's how loud it is. That's what you hear.
So that's that like kind of whirring sound.
Indeed.
That's just
I'm fighting.
kind of like constantly there.
Yes. Yep, you nailed it.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah,
I thought I had tendonitis. That's all.
No, you're good, Lee.
Alright. Nope. I'm gonna have severe hearing loss at some point in time, but we'll be fine. I can still hear you pieces of shit. At least right now.
You can hear what we.
Yeah, Ethan Flair is on, baby.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Flair. Ethan Flair.
He shows up here, I'm gonna have to leave because that motherfucker's just been trying to rickroll people all fucking week with his fucking John Cena fucking thing he was sending out to people.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm going to the gym now. Oh, Greg is going to the gym. He's going to stare at Sweaty Man.
I think I have to fucking leave.
At some point in time. Not right now. Yeah. So Greg is going to go to the gym and stare at men. I sent the other guy who stares at men an invite. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah. I got 150th video is going to come up soon for me. Planning on doing, because right now with the new camera I can only do small formats, so basically a 2-minute video, that's about it. But I'm planning on trying to take some time and go to my in-laws house, I could say, and go online and try to do a live streamer review for my 850th video. So I'm thinking about maybe doing the Bourbon Barrel Aged version of Plead the Fifth for my 850th.
Nice.
That's collectively, I'm thinking that. I do have that Bourbon Barrel Aged Narwhal as well. So I was thinking about saving that for another milestone.
Have you tried that one yet or no?
No, I haven't had either one of those.
Okay.
I've had the bases, but not the variant version.
Yeah, same here.
That, and then I got another really cool one that I got from Perry and Joe. Is it Joe? So it's the alchemy from Fagley's. That 2001, something like that. 2001 barley wine. I'm like, oh, I'm totally buying this. I've already bought it. I didn't even know I did that. I bought it before I came into the store. It's so fucking good. I was so excited when I saw it. I was like, this is either going to be awesome or it's going to suck. I can't wait to try it. It's either going to be great or it's going to be horrible. I'm so excited. I'll probably save that up for another milestone coming up. Right now, because I haven't been buying beer